What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
a continuation from the last session, looking at villain 25, 26, and 27. We have some hypotheses about how they play, and we're going to figure out if our model is accurate and if we can figure out a counter strategy. So far, we have not executed a counter strategy. So far, we have just folded and watched all the money go around here. All right. Sam, what would you like to do?
What is this?
Just go straight through the hands. We're going to do it this way, all face up.
Oh, I'm gonna open, right?
Right. Well, King Eight's
Oh,
going to, right. Yeah. So just go through the hands. So
oh
fold,
no, I'm gonna fold.
right? Fold.
Hero's gonna open.
Yep. I open. And now and so here's my first adjustment I have made. I've changed my opening size. So yes, I did figure that out. Okay. And this is just,
and and everybody should fold.
right. Okay. They should. And this is the guy who doesn't. There's our fruit. Right.
Beautiful,
Right.
lovely.
Beautiful. Now, if we had seen these face up, we'd be opening even bigger.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to lose some money. So the straight should do what?
I would donk in a live game.
Okay.
I'm not gonna show up here with 10-7 off, but
He donks.
he donks. Um, I would float here. I would prefer to have a heart, but I would float here.
Right. So I'm going to do, so what I'm doing here is he has fishy stats, he has fishy play, and I'm making the mistake of deploying Nuffle here. So this is going to go badly for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna float.
Yeah. So watch it go bad. I float.
You, you should be able to run something there.
Say what, Brian?
You should be able to run away at some point
Oh,
during
I'm
this
going
because
to.
he will
I'm
probably
going to.
tell you how strong he is.
I'm going to. So he bets 5 into 16.
Hmm? That's
So this is a pure Nuffle. Well, Sam, what do you want to do here? It's your hand.
If he hasn't, if I have not played with him before, is he deep enough? How much can I make it? Like, can I make it 20? That would be 55. He'll have 55 left. What the hell do I want to do? Yeah, what the? I'm probably just gonna call one more time. Like this hand has showdown. Like yeah, if I'm gonna bluff, I probably want to bluff with something else.
Okay.
Um, and I could hit a 10 and be good.
All right. So those make sense. Now, anybody, someone here who's learning a little bit of Nuffle, what does Nuffle say to do here?
I know enough to just raise.
Yep, yep. And to what size?
Uh, I don't know the sizing.
21.5. It's these two added together. So that's what we do. We go to 21, it goes to 37, and we fold.
Okay, now we fold. Yeah.
Yeah, we fold. So I deployed the Nuffle, possibly against the right guy, probably against, very likely against the right guy since we've seen how he played, and on the wrong hand. All right, Brian.
Is this the guy though that gets aggressive after being checked too?
Um, we we've seen crazy stuff from these two guys. We don't remember. He came back to the hand, so we don't know. He gets aggressive with some crazy hands. Is my short
Seemed like he was aggressive. No, is this the short stacker? The guy that was the button short?
uh
I think it was.
yeah.
All
Can't
right.
answer. Can't answer you. That was yesterday. All right.
Mm. Fold ace 6, open ace 10 to a bigger size.
Okay.
Fold jack 6 offsuit, but he's gonna call.
Right.
Eight 5 probably gonna call.
Yep.
He didn't. position, we flopped a king high board. Technically, we're supposed to bet a lot, but I'm gonna check here. Well, against this player, actually, I don't remember specifically with this player. He has a big aggression factor.
Yeah. 16.
So I'm
So
gonna
yes.
check, and when he goes small, I'm gonna check raise, and I need to check raise. I do have some sort of showdown value. No, I would check here.
Yeah, I'm gonna check raise here with the ace of clubs. That's enough. I don't know that this is enough to check raise for me. But he checks behind. Great.
All right.
And I didn't get a chance to reload.
Yeah, I was gonna say now you don't even have a full stack. This
Yeah.
isn't great
I didn't
either.
push I didn't push the button fast enough.
Ugh. All right.
So on
He
this side,
checks
the thing I
behind.
have to get used to, the thing I have to do, the two things I have to change in my game is playing live. Before I fold any hand, I have to look back at it again. Because I generally only look at my cards once. I look at them and I memorize them and I call them this. I don't call this hand the ace of hearts, 10 of spades. I call this the 8-10 of hearts spade. That's just in my mind. That's the speed I get it. So I go 8-10 of hearts spade and then I don't look again. And I need to, every time I fold, I need to look back and go, is this indeed the hand I think it is? And I will almost always find that it is. But the one time I remembered it wrong, I should look before I fold. And then when I'm online, the change I need to make is when I'm going to fold any river, I need to go and hit the reload button before folding. So this doesn't happen.
All
Uh,
right. Well,
Now, sometimes you're going to get caught if you have pocket aces and you get it all in, and you expect to win and then it goes runner, runner. And then all of a sudden there you are with no chips. You didn't hit the button fast enough because the chip that came out fast enough. But if you're folding, you have time to reload and I have to learn that. So I'm saying this to myself. All right, go on.
You don't have an auto reload option?
Not on this site.
so when we
Hey, Andy, welcome back.
go
What's
against an
up,
aggressive
guys?
player, when we check, he's probably gonna bet a lot of his showdown
Mhm.
hands or hands that have some sort of value here.
Yep.
Um, some bluffs, and we still have some sort of showdown technically.
We
So
also
what
have a
is
gut. We also now
we have
have
a
a real.
gutter?
We have
Yeah,
a
we have a
real
gutter.
under. Yeah.
I'm gonna check and evaluate his sizing, and when he goes small, now I'm definitely gonna
Okay, that works.
apply
Um,
pressure to one pair of hands.
that's good. I'm going to bet out here, I'm sure, because now I have a legitimate draw. So I bet.
Wow.
Wow,
That's
what the
exactly why I didn't want to bet was because I didn't think that a single pair hand is going to fall to two streets of just bet.
I'm
That
shocked. This guy,
that is
this guy,
great.
that this guy folded. That's insane. You cannot play Jack 6 and play it this way. I mean, you shouldn't play Jack 6, but if you're going to play Jack 6, you cannot play it this way profitably. All right, that was nice. Rodney.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yep, yep.
So we're playing this game today, the what would we do?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
What would we do and what are they going to do? And you'll see you're going to see some very suspect play from these three players.
Uh, hey, guess what? It's snowing again for the 17th day in a row.
Time to play poker online. All right. Rodney, 7 queen, what do you want to do?
We're gonna fold this.
Good.
Um, I guess he's probably gonna just check,
Yep.
but he should fold.
Well, he can't fold because he posted. So he
Oh.
just checks. So the thing he should do is he shouldn't post. Posting is bad, and posting in this position is double bad. Right? This is just impatient and not understand.
10-7, the way that guy's playing, he's just gonna limp in.
You right?
Queen 8 on the button. Suited. That should he should call.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do you, if this were
maybe
you,
raise.
would you consider squeezing with this? It's really low, but to this action, would you consider squeezing?
Not really in my range to raise it.
Okay. So here are the
Which
reasons.
could.
Okay, so here are the reasons to raise it, and here are the reasons not to raise it, and this is what you have to do. So remember, this guy, if you had Queen 8 suited on the button and it was folded to you, this is a straight up raise. Queen eight suited on the button is a raise against two blinds. In a three blind game, I would still raise queen eight suited, but it's I'm going to go down to queen three here in a two blind game, and in a three blind game, maybe queen five suited. But this guy is not a blind. This guy is weaker than a blind because he's chosen not to bet.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
so he's even worse. And so that makes queen eight suited here a slam dunk raise in all cases to me. But this limper, we've been watching him, and I think that one of the things we've noticed is he's not going to fold, and this hand needs a lot of folds. So I might not do it because even though this guy's capped in his range, I might push up my ISO to sort of where it would be in the hijack, and queen eight suited in the hijack is pretty borderline. So that's the reason I might fold it. You wouldn't be terrible to limp behind, but I think a fold is better than a limp behind. But it's not, a limp behind's not terrible. Great, he finds the squeeze. His squeeze is too small. What size should this be, Rodney?
Should be 8.
Where are you getting?
Or
Where are you
well,
getting?
actually, I guess with
Yeah.
limpers, you would be looking at probably somewhere around 10.
No, do it with poker coaching math first, which is we're just going to go
So it'd be
pots.
three,
Size of the pot, 3.
3, and then 4, 6.5,
3, 4. So 3, 4, 5.5.
5.5.
So 5.5 is the poker coaching size. If you go bigger, I'm fine with that. I just knowing theoretically that this is a 5.5 in the poker coaching implementable strategy is good to know. And less than 5.5 is definitely not good. So 5.5 or more, depending on what your game will support. This half a big blind error is no big deal for him. It's for you that I'm saying let's get precise. 5.5 at least. If you go to 6 or 7, I'm fine. 10 is you've got to have a reason to go 10. And the reason you would go 10 is that you've discovered that these guys are calling oversized ISOs with crappy hands, and this is not the hand you should do it with. You should be going 10 with your top of range hand that they're making a mistake by calling. I think you're sticking your neck out too far with 10 with queen 8 suited. All right. So you ISO, what should ace 9 do?
Should fold.
He should. Excellent. And the send 7 folds too. Great. All right. Mike, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Yes. You saw Nuffle go bad, right?
Yeah, and it will occasionally.
Yep. And I assume I deployed it correctly and it went bad?
Yeah, the only thing that sometimes I'll adjust to is that your hand is so strong versus their range that ace queen was like good enough to just call and treat it like a value hand.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
I think it's probably right on the cusp of considering it like you could just call instead of raise.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. What would you like to do?
Oh, yep. Open the ace jack and it should fold around.
All right. But this is
Yeah.
this is a new guy. So
Great.
our $500 guy left. All right. So he's gone. So we won't get to find out if it really was him playing for streaks. Okay. So here we go.
So he limps. We know the guy in the cutoff's going to limp here. He's going to over limp. Wow. No.
No, I didn't overlimp. This guy, new
You
guy.
get a small ISO with 8-9 off. It's not something I would do. I would fold. And so here we go. It should go fold, fold. And then we'll see if this guy wants to do some sort of limp re-raise here or if he's just going to call. Yeah. Okay. Well, just
Limp and then limp dick re-raise.
let's
Limp
have
dick-
a min raise war.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So at this point, should the 8-9 actually call here? Given this mistake, I almost think he should.
In position, getting almost 5-1. Sure.
Yeah, I definitely think he should with 10 jack. 8-9. Yeah, this. I mean, this might. I don't think this is bad to call. All right, here we go.
I mean, do you want me to like? I don't know.
What would you do?
We're
Yeah,
just so.
what
What would I
shifts
do? I
you
wouldn't be
expected?
here. Is
You
what
wouldn't
I
be here,
would do.
but you could easily be here but you could easily be here in a raised pot. So pot is 11. Your
So
turn.
yeah, let's assume we raised and he cold called on the button here.
Yeah.
Okay. This flop here, I would c bet. I would c bet small. I would probably go B33-ish.
Okay. Goes check. And our 8-9.
Uh, I mean, again, I, I suppose if you forced me into this position here, and he checks this flop,
So
I
you have
might I
10
might start
you have
going
10
big.
check. So you have a hand like this and you ISO'd to 4.5. You made the right ISO size and he made the mistake of click re-raising you, and that's why you're still here. So you're this guy. Make it if you need to make it 8-9 of diamonds. You have 8-9 of diamonds here. That's the equivalent, and you could have played it this way. Limp, you ISO 8-9 of diamonds. He click raises you. What do you want to do?
I would probably start going big.
All right. He goes half pot.
And yeah, my big would be half pot minimum, maybe even three quarters. This could be, yeah.
And are you going to go big one and done, or are you going to go big and continue to blast on?
I'd probably go two streets.
All right. Let's see if he does. Here's the call.
Yep, I'd go B75 here.
All right. That is not a winning play with 9-8. Ace Jack with this action.
And we limped and got ISO'd, and then so I'm so off this, like I have no idea what's happening.
Check, big bet. You called once. Check, check. Do you want to turn Ace Jack into a bluff or try to take your showdown?
So we're doing a different line as if we're ace jack now.
Yeah,
I don't get what we're doing anymore.
you're Ace Jack. You're Ace Jack. What do you want to do? You face
And we
this.
raised and got cold called pre-flop,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay. And we checked this flop because I wouldn't have checked this flop.
yeah. Well, you did.
I, this is
Okay, let's just see what he does. What do you want to do with your 8-9? All right.
okay. If we go back to what we kind of ISO'd with,
Yeah,
and I would have bet the turn.
right.
And so now that we bet and then checked
Okay,
again,
let me
yeah,
ask you a
I'm
different
just
question.
betting.
Let
I'm
me
just
ask you a
betting.
different question.
I'll
What do
bet.
you expect? What
I'll
do you
bet
expect this guy to do?
B75 if we had went check there.
Right. Okay. Here's my better question. Okay, you're neither of these guys. You wouldn't play it this way. What do you expect to see? You don't have any. You have one hand on them, so you're just playing population tendencies and how they've played so far. What do you
Population
expect?
tendencies, you can go check.
All right. There it does. Check, check. And the ace jack wins. All right. So we lose
And
that.
not even population tendencies. The if I see the guy that has 8-9 off who played it so far this way, I would expect him to check the river because
Right. That he just did a one and done, and he was done.
yeah.
All right. Rein.
All right. So let's see, 4-7's probably folding. Ace-9 is that. Wait, that's not the limp guy from yesterday, right?
New guy. Yep. New guy.
New guy. He might open, like it's on the brink.
He does.
So 9-5 should fold. Queen Jack should fold as well, and then that one should fold as well. But that guy doesn't fold, right?
No, he's new. We don't know.
Oh,
This is not the guy who doesn't fold, but as it turns out,
oh, okay.
this is another guy who doesn't fold.
Right. Oh, it's his second hand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
He's a new guy.
And we right now we succeeded in exploiting these, this guy and this guy not at all. We just never got in any hands and did anything with them. And now we have new players here. So the only person that we are still in sort of a targeting mood, like we know something about him, is this guy, and he does make mistakes.
All right.
So that's us.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. King 4. If you need to think of it, you're suited. I'm making you suited because you would call with King 4 suited, and you would raise
Right.
sometimes, but you have calls there. So what would you like to do?
Check.
I like the check.
Um, Do you ever like bet to try and like see if they believe that you have a high pair?
So yes, in my opinion, this is just a range bet board and just range bet big from the
Yeah,
cutoff.
but with the reason that like that being the reasoning behind it being the
Exactly.
range
We have
bet.
such an
Yeah.
overpair advantage and like that. And threes are almost in neither of our ranges. Yes,
Yeah. No, I'm yeah, definitely not scared of a three.
right. Yeah.
Uh
So he just bets. Great.
like
Yep.
yeah. And I mean with King 4, I mean I probably just fold.
That's a good fold. And if in your head you said, "Oh, look, I have an upper dangler to the trips, therefore I block some of the hands," you block 4-3 suited. It
No,
doesn't have 4-3 suited. That's nonsense.
no, that definitely didn't come up at
Yeah, that
all.
heuristic does not apply. But
This guy does he's going for like a king draw or something.
he's sticky, and he may be saying to himself, "We don't know. We're not in his head yet." But he may just be saying to himself, "Well, you never have a three," and he's not thinking so far as to you have all the overpairs. But maybe it's just like you don't know I don't have a three, so if you check,
Mm.
I'll take this on the river. We're gonna find out. If he passively plays this hand to the river and never turns it into a bluff, then he's not thinking any of those things. He's going, I have a king.
Right.
King is a big
I
card.
mean, he could have the best hand
He
like
could,
on the flop.
but if he plays this for his king high to be the best hand, that is a terrible way to play.
Yeah,
All right. But now everything changes. So
right. Yeah. I mean, if King 4 just
yep.
check again,
X.
and Ace 9 is gonna continue betting.
Okay. If it's you, should you continue betting here?
I mean, I think so. You
I
wanna
think so.
build the pot.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
the nine isn't that threatening to the other player. Like
Yep.
it's not as threatening as a higher card.
Yep. I'm betting this turn every time, and I'm not
And
worried about it
probably
until I get raised.
like what size would you go? Like 2 foot pot or something? Or even higher?
Okay. So I would go anywhere from I would go anywhere from 8 to 16. Now, who wants to overbet this? And either put it in the chat or say it. Anybody want to go for the overbet turn on this?
No.
Okay. So just
What are we targeting with an overbet?
his pocket pairs. He has pocket pairs.
Yeah, that's the only thing we're targeting now. I'm
Yep.
gonna say that
Pocket pairs
this guy's gonna
and
float
maybe
you wide.
if he has an ace himself, maybe. Or like
Yeah, but I wouldn't overbet to target the ace. I think that would
Okay. Larry's on
that
team
folds.
overbet. I'm on team 8 big blinds. Because I think an ace can still call 8 big blinds. Sometimes.
yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's see what
I
RJ
mean,
does.
you could still be like playing into yourself when they have like pocket tens or jacks or something, and they've just been slow playing. But
Yeah,
uh,
he goes half.
yeah,
And we expect at this point what should King 4 do here?
they should fold.
Yep.
Just like they have like one street less to draw the card they need to
Yep.
improve, and they should have folded on the
Yep.
on the flop already.
Yep. And do we expect he will?
No.
I think he will. I think in our population he will. Let's find out who's right. He does.
Oh, yeah, that's okay.
There's a lot of I'll float one time and see what you do out there.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll see if I hit something. I'll see what you do. I don't believe you have a three. I think you're just c betting. Let's just see, see what happens. What I don't know if his plan was when it goes check, was he going to bet the river and make sure that my ace highs fold, or was he going to try to take showdown with a king? Yuck. If he bet the river, I would have more respect for his play, and if he checked the river, I would uh, think it's more fishy. All right, Josh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. This is online. Like what game is this? Wow.
I mean, what are we
This
playing?
is,
This is 50 cent $1. So this is the $100 game online on Ignition.
okay.
And these people and these players
Wow.
are
What the blinds are 50 cent $1.
yeah, and
Wow.
the players are worse than they usually are in this player pool. But this is not a great. But we see some dubious play in this game, even at the $100 game. So if any of you are in the $25 game and are afraid of the $100 game, let me tell you, these are the players you're finding. Um, yes, I'm not allowed to talk about parts of cars. We think we've changed that, Brian. We're going to find out if YouTube blocks this. Then we've learned. But I've still done this so that it doesn't appear fully on screen. So that's what this is.
This is
And
public game, not like a club
no,
or
this is
something.
this
Yeah.
is this is just this is just an online game you can join. I'll tell you about the
Okay.
site later off when it's not on the recording. And
Okay.
we get the advantage that we get to see the cards the next day, and that's why I play on this site is to bring hands where we get to see how everybody played.
All right.
The
Cool.
And for
major discovery of the recent massive bot farms.
yeah, well, their bots are playing bad. Oh my gosh, if you should see the ChatGPT play, we'll talk about that on another day. Could not be worse. Holy crap. Okay, going on. Uh, it sounds like us, which is how ChatGPT is. ChatGPT sounds like it's smart, and if you know anything about what it's saying, you often look and go, "But that's 100% wrong." It sounds right, but it's 100% wrong. Um, Doug Polk has put out some videos on on the different AI, LLMs playing poker against each other, and them giving their reasons for why they're playing certain hands, and it's nonsense. Here we go. All right.
Yeah. It sounds really clever, but yeah.
It sounds really clever. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the site, and so far these players have been worse than average for the 510 for the 50 cent dollar pool. And I brought it here because
Okay.
these players seem to be playing a little bit more like Brian's pool. So it said, let's look at Brian's pool face up. All right. So what would you like to do with 10 deuce offsuit?
Fold.
Fold, and I think you will. What would you like to do with ace seven suited?
3 big blinds.
Right, and I think you will. 2.5, good enough. What would you
Fine.
like to do
Yeah.
with king jack offsuit on the button?
Uh,
Hmm.
you probably meant to free bet this, right? Free bet. I mean, you could just call, but I mean, yeah, free bet is better.
All right, we
Yeah.
three bet. Ace
I
nine
mean,
suited.
small blind, fold, right?
Yep, he's
They
got to
shouldn't.
fold. He should absolutely fold. Right.
Yeah.
So, but this
I
is
know they love. They don't give a shit.
right.
But this is Brian's pool, dude.
Yep, this is Brian's pool, and this is a new guy. Do we think it could be the same guy who left and came back with 100 big blinds because he didn't want to sit there with 500? That happens too. We'll see if it's the same guy. We'll see from his play. But we only have three hands in, and this is and we're already seeing. We saw the limps. We saw some dubious stuff. We saw the min three bet here. Was that the min three bet? Limp. Yeah, this was the limp raise min three bet nonsense. So we've already tagged this guy after three hands. We've got notes on him. All right. What should 10 deuce do?
Fold.
What should ace seven suited do here?
It should fold, right? I mean, I
Yeah,
think it
we
should
assume
just
he's going to
fold.
call though, right? We expect him to call
Yeah.
in this pool. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I suppose he's getting better odds now, but
He is, but he's not closing
uh,
the action, and he's easily dominated. And you don't make money playing just for your flush. I think I would fold here. The
yeah,
ace, I would fold here, but I wouldn't fold an ace 10 suited here, and I wouldn't fold ace three, four, or five. But I would fold the six and the seven and the eight, and I don't know what I would do with the nine. That's me.
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. He calls. No surprise. And I should be thinking, fuck. But I should also think, well, this just got simple. It's multi-way.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ace nine. Ignoring the fact that he
Check.
shouldn't be here, what should he do?
He should check.
All right. But instead,
Yeah.
he decides to make sure he makes no more money.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah.
Protected is 9. He feels very good about his play right now. He's feeling very good. Okay. Sutton.
All right, let's go. 8 deuce clubs fold, ace king, 3 big blinds.
Right. And we'll see if I'm sticking with my 3.5 or if I've dropped back down to 2.5 now that these guys are gone. So I've dropped back down. I've gotten rid of my exploit because I have new players and I haven't seen enough from them. If I saw, given what I saw, I wouldn't go down if I understood anything about if, you know, 10 hands from now, I would stick with 3.5 if this guy's going to continue to do what he does.
Yeah, should be full fold. Ace 6 spades defend here. You don't want to 3-bet with this particular, like we just had a conversation about the middling aces. You don't really want to
Different.
3-bet.
This is a different situation. That was facing the raise. That was opening it and then facing a 3-bet. These middle.
Yeah,
I just want to show. This
yeah.
has some raises in it. Let me just show you this one. None of them are pure, but you definitely want to know about these raises in this region. So let me just show you the spot real quick. So I was the cutoff. Yep. So cutoff raises 2.5. Big blind. Note this stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's really hard to do 20% there.
Yeah.
With ace 6. I mean, take your ace 5 and just use your ace 5 pure.
Yeah. Do ace 5 pure and king 4 pure. Just do that.
Yeah, so I just call it ace 6. I suspect most players are going to
Perfectly
call
fine.
it ace.
Yep. Just wanted to point out that these are here.
Mhm.
And it's all the way up to the ace 6 and ace 7, which it usually isn't. Usually you'd think it's only ace 5. This whole region is common against all these opening sizes. You've got some stuff down here against the under the gun, against the hijack. This, and then we saw the cutoff, and then the button is going to continue it. Also, you're going to still see it on the button. There. Okay. All right. Good enough. So we've seen that. He of course is going to call. Of that.
Yep.
All right.
This is actually an interesting flop.
It is.
Because the big blind should have a lot of connectivity. I bet in theory, there's some donking here.
Yeah.
I even with us having a 6, this might be one of the combos. I suspect it might be like a more likely with any of the other suits because we don't have a backdoor flush draw here. But I'm gonna assume this guy's gonna check.
Yeah, but you're right. With give him diamonds, clubs, or hearts. Probably a decent donk. Definitely a decent check raise with those. Definitely decent. He checks.
So ace king had an interesting choice here because there's a couple different ways to think. So you could definitely have showdown value as the best unpaired hand here. There's plenty of like queen 10, queen jack combinations, weaker ace combinations that the big blind could have here. And you also are against a range that has a lot of connectivity with this board. So there are like good reasons to just kind of check here, I think. Exploitatively, I think a lot of people, even myself, just see that here, kind of like on autopilot. So I think you kind of got to think about what you're intending to do. If you start a betting line here, are you planning to continue that betting line? Because like the continues are rarely going to be worse, I think.
Yeah. So in the Hungry Horse strategy, this is a half pot bet here. Regardless of our hand, regardless of of this board. I mean, there are boards that it's different, ace high boards, but this board just covered, that get him to call with his weak stuff and raise with his strong stuff and cap him. And in GTO world, this seems like a very good check back. And Jonathan Little just posted a video. I just put it in the chat about his deviations from GTO at small stakes. And and they include c-betting a lot more often than GTO does. And so this hand could easily c-bet here. I'm going to guess that I check behind for GTO reasons. Yep, that's what I do. And this is, if you say to me that this is not the best exploit against this player pool, I will agree with you, because
But you
I'm doing two things when I play in this game. I'm trying to win and play smart, but I'm also practicing.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing to think about here is like he also only has a 70 big blind stack, so it is a little bit. It's going to limit your size if you try to triple off here.
Yeah.
Of what the river sizing is going to be. So,
Yeah.
I think check is fine.
So what I'm trying to do in this game, and it is not the most profitable thing, is I'm trying to play before I have a model of the other players, I'm trying to play closer to an implementable GTO strategy. And as I get, it could be as few as 10 hands if they're egregiously playing a certain way, but it's at sort of 20 and 25 and 30 hands. Then I want to start thinking about what my adjustment is. And that's all for me to practice, because this game is 1/15th the size of the game that I play for money. So if I kill this game, I'm not making very much money for my life. I'm gonna mute Sam. And so that's what's going on. I agree that this is a perfectly fine bet here. All right. And this time I'm kind of glad I checked behind. Oh boy.
So if I'm big blind here,
Mhm.
it's kind of tricky because once the cutoff is checked behind us here,
Mm-hmm.
like how do we get called here? What's the calling range? I would probably bet here, and I would bet quite small. Like I might even bet just one big blind.
I love one big blind here. I love that bet here.
Yeah, it does a few things. Like it really gets at a couple of guys that tend to be aggressive.
Yep.
It really like hurts their ego to fold. Yep. So then they think about raising. So I might employ that strategy here.
It's great.
But yeah, it's very difficult. I think a lot of guys might just bet like 2/3 pot or something like that. He goes with the check.
Mm-hmm.
And again, once you've taken the check line here on flop, this board didn't get better for you. It got worse.
Right.
You don't have a ton of 6x in your range. And this hand has showdown value. Now that it's gone check, you've actually, I think you could have the best hand pretty easily. I don't see any reason to bet here.
I didn't.
Oh, there we go. 10 clubs. If you're button or you're big blind here again, I think you have to bet. At this point, it's hard to see what you're going to get called by because the range behind you is so capped. But I'm just in general not thinking that the player behind me is going to ever be bluffing here at any sort of ratio. So if I want to put money in the pot, I need to put money in and try to get maybe a hand, like an ace 10 type of hand, maybe, or even I don't know, and I don't know, would nines maybe be in the equation? It's hard to believe that nines would check back. I would go small again, trying to get picked off by an ace high hand, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd probably go smaller than that, but yeah.
Right. So I think that this river, in general, if you just go, does this river get bluffed? It's like, sure, the river gets bluffed, but not so much by this guy, by the guy who checked here, checked back here. This guy's not looking, our ace king hero here. He's not trying to bluff me off the hand.
No.
I wouldn't expect him to do it on the river. And by the way, I wasn't going to do it. I was going to happily try to take my showdown.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He goes 4.
I would fold here. This board is just so bad, and it's so good for him. I don't know.
Yeah. I decided to call one bet, and I didn't recognize that this is basically 4. He did the right thing here by banking 3.92. I kind of pictured this as, it's a little bit more than half pot. I'll do it, but it's actually a lot more than half pot. I
Yeah.
kind of saw the 3 in the fight. I think that's what I did. So
Yeah.
it's a better fold. It's a 4 big blind mistake, but it is a mistake. All right, here we go. Andy,
All
welcome back.
right. 5-6 jam.
Right. Okay. But other than that, after 5-6 folds,
I am gonna open the 9-10.
good. I hope he does too. He does.
Obviously we're 3-betting to, I like 12.5 on the 3-bet.
I think that's fine. Anything, yeah, 12 at least. And then anything from 12 to 15 seems just fine. And in an exploitative game where people don't fold, go to 20 if they don't fold.
Yep.
If you're, and we've seen that. We've definitely all seen that live. I put in a bet, I'm going to see the flop. If he's that guy, go to 20. But you're not trying to get folds with ace king. You don't mind when they fold, but your goal is not to go so big that they fold everything because you have to hit. You have a dominating hand and you do not mind taking this post flop even out of position. 10, too small. All right. 7, 9.
Fold.
Fold and fold. Good. All right. We're back up to Larry.
All right. It should fold around 2 big blind. You should raise, and we don't to 6-7. You should raise and should take it. We get a limp. So 6-7, I think here can be a bluff ISO. I like it on the button when you're going to have position post.
I like it too. Do you hate a call here?
No, I don't hate a call. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't bluff ISO this in any place except the button.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it in the small blind. So yeah, do not hate a call. And the only thing I don't like here is I don't like a fold. I think a call is I think a call is better than a fold, and I think that a raise is in our games is better than a call. But I don't. Yeah, I think the call is fine. The problem with the raise is you just have to, do you get squeezed behind? And if the answer is no, then maybe even the call is better. All right. So he goes for the wrong size raise.
Yeah, doesn't serve as much purpose.
All right, Rodney, what should this raise size be?
Button would be 3, 4, 4.5.
Perfect. Good. All right, here we go. And if you say to yourself, yeah, it's 4.5, but the difference between 3 and 4.5 is 1.5 big blinds, you're looking at this wrong. The difference between 3 and 1.5 is 50%. That's how much bigger 4.5 is than 3. It's a lot. And it will make a huge difference
Now
in your
it's
things. Yeah.
or from the big blind's perspective, 2 to call versus 3.5. It's
Yep.
almost double.
Almost double. It is a big difference. Let's do this right. And if you go even bigger, I'm fine, but no smaller than 4.5. All right, here we go. Back to Larry.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fold, and here should fold.
Yep.
And this guy should fold.
This guy should fold, and he shouldn't even have been in the hand in the first place. Given that the bet is so small, he should defend wider, but not this hand.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It's hard to say what the bottom that he should defend here is because he shouldn't have limped in the first place and all like that. But I guess if you had to think about it, if someone like made you limp for a bet or something like that, call 9-6 suited to this size, fold 9-4 suited, probably fold 9-5. That's my dividing line against this size. I'm guessing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Maybe not 9-6, maybe 9-7. Just picture it as he goes 3, he opens 3 and you're in the big blind. What's your, let's use this as our model. 3 big blind open, button opens 3 big blinds, and here you are in the big blind. What do you do in your nines? Yeah, not even 9-6, go all the way to 9-7. This is a decent model of this hand. There's a 1 extra big blind in it because of the dead big blind here. So, maybe fill these out. Maybe sneak into the 9-6 with the extra 1 big blind. but yeah, but definitely not here. So that's our model. Not bad. This is bad. And by the way, we only have 5 hands on him, and he has a V of it's only 5 hands in a 60, but already we've seen how out of line this guy is. When we get to 10 hands, we're going to have an opinion on him, and we are going to change our open size from 2.5 to 3.5 probably. All right, here we go.
All right. He should check. Out of position should check. I would see bet this. I think default is a small bet in our monotone board.
Yep.
But I would go bigger because I am attempting to generate folds. So I would go B50 to B75.
Okay. And he agrees with you.
And yeah.
All right. Brian. Oh, and by the way, Larry, say one thing. When you said small, what size on this one? What is the theoretical size?
I think generally the theoretical size here is a third.
Yeah. Yep. Third is good. 2.5 big blinds is great. Just to be precise when we say small and big. Brian, you playing?
Fold.
Here we go. All right.
8-7 opens to 4 big blinds.
Okay. This king 10 here, how frequent is that? Should this be an open in the hijack?
Think it opens in the hijack.
This is a pretty well represented hijack open. Yeah, I would well, if his
Open
size,
tighter.
yeah, it's okay if you don't, but just to look at it, even at 3 big blinds, it's pure. And at 2.5,
Well, King 10 opens then to 3. I'm
Yeah.
sure they will limp.
Yeah.
No, they're opening. All right, fold.
Yeah.
Fold. 8-7, I would actually prefer to fold here out of position, and then 4s can defend.
Yep. All right. So here's 4s.
He will defend.
He will defend, and he will defend by calling. He's not going to raise. We know that. We know a lot of times, this is just a beginner's thing, just to say out there. A lot of times when you're in the big blind and you've got a hand like 4-4, 5-5, something like that, and one player, and you go, well, I'm going to call, and then I'm going to check, and I'm going to miss the flop, and I'm going to fold. So instead, I'm going to power my way through with 4s, 5s, and 6s. I'm going to turn those into 3-bet bluffs here, and I'm going to get this guy to fold. And if I don't, I'm going to bet the flop. That's how I'm going to win. And that is not the best way to play. Unless you have some reason to know that this guy is opening so wide and folds to 3-bets, has to be both. Your best bet with these small pairs is to call and check fold the flop a lot. And you're going to check fold the best hand all the time because they're going to see bet hands that you don't, and you're going to miss and have no draw. And that's still the most profitable way to play these small pairs. And it's certainly the GTO way to play them. I won't claim
float kind of wide.
Yeah, I won't claim
flop.
that it is the most profitable. I will claim it is the GTO way, and I think it is our best play even in our games. All right, here we go.
All right, now I'm gonna check my 4s. I'm gonna check my King 10. Bet he will probably bet.
He bets it.
They would call with 4s here because I think they're gonna see bet too wide. They're gonna have tons of offsuit Broadway shit. See bets here.
Okay, so can I sell you on not continuing with continuing only half your 4s here?
Yeah, you want me to continue with the heart. I mean, I'm just gonna float because I'm gonna make them barrel off me if they're gonna bluff.
All right, Brian's playing the hand.
See, can I say, being mostly online player and looking at his HUD stat,
Yep.
we do have with 42 hands, it's enough to say that his C bet of 28% would make me actually want to fold on the flop.
This is not a C bet 20. This C is not 28%.
Okay. Never mind.
You want this one. His C bet is 14.
Oh, that's even.
Still nothing.
Even less.
Still nothing. Yes.
Okay, well then maybe
he's
fold.
very, very honest.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'd fold then.
Yeah,
which is weird because he's absolutely not honest right here.
Yes. Yeah.
So 4s are gonna call one time and then see what happens on the turn. All right. Now I'm gonna check again with my 4. And with King 10, I see bet which I wouldn't have done, but I picked up more equity. So now, what am I targeting? Really be in the spot. but I would have said, so what does he get here with? I said ace high boards. I wouldn't want to really continue quite as much with just a gutter on this. I think that I would continue small here and not try to make somebody fold an ace if I was going to be in this spot, because people don't like to fold aces sometimes. I think he still has a decent amount of those in his range. Flush draws, he's got queen X that he just made.
All right, there we go. I think I muted Brian. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, Brian. So, what would you like to do with? So, after all of that, what would you like to do with your King 10?
I mean, he's in this spot. If I was playing, I wouldn't get here, but I would say that if I'm going to continue with my normal strategy, I'm going to continue on this in this spot to a bigger, like 3/4 to. Yeah.
Yep. And he did this. The one thing about this that is not terrible is it allows him to realize his full equity by checking
Yeah.
behind. So that's good. But in the theory of I bet here because I had two back doors and I got one of them, you should continue betting. If that was your
In that
reason for betting.
situation,
Yeah. So there we go.
we checked.
Yeah. Check
Now
as
with the
straight
fours,
as.
I'm gonna check again,
Yeah.
and with King 10, see, this is just not a spot I'd be in. I would take my showdown value here in this spot. I mean,
He did too.
check behind.
All right. And the fours are so happy. All
Yeah.
right. There we go. All right. Brian Rodney.
Okay, ace four should fold.
No. No, 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 no. All suited aces. Let me show you
Oh,
this.
that's right, yeah.
Let me
I'm
show you
sorry.
this let me show
Yep.
you the level of confidence I want you to have in suited aces. This is six-handed. This is, let me show you nine-handed. Nine-handed to 2.5. The under the gun nine-handed is where the fold is. If anybody said you fold ace deuce under the gun, they're talking about under the gun nine-handed. We should never call the low jack in a six-handed game under the gun. We should call it low jack so we don't confuse this range with this range. The ace deuce comes in. So all these suited aces here, ace four suited is and above are played pure. Back here, the ace three starts sneaking in these two, and by the time you get to low jack, it's everything. So ace four was there all along, and that includes here. And let me just show you in another version of it. This is peak, a slightly different model. This is under the gun eight-handed. It's not playing the ace deuce yet, and it folds some of the ace six being the weakest, your worst suited ace after ace deuce. But by the time you get to under the gun one, they're all there. By the time you get to low jack, it's just suited aces. Suited aces, suited aces, suited aces. All right. We've done the suited aces speech. What should he do?
So he should make it 2.5.
Yep, 2.5 or 3 if three big blinds is his opening size, either one. He goes 3. Nothing wrong with that.
The eights should raise that.
Mm-hmm. And do they fold? And do eights? Do you think eights in a GTO world mix folds here? He's not going to fold, by the way. He's going to call. We think. We expect him to call. I shouldn't have said that. I should have asked you that. But
yeah, I think it's probably right on the. I think it's probably right on the cutoff.
Yeah. Let me just show. Yeah. So just to see it once. This doesn't mean you have to play this way, but in the GTO world, this is what's going to surprise you. How tight you are to the low jack raise. Even tens isn't pure. Nobody's folding tens here. But there we go. All right. What do we expect him to do?
I expect him to call.
Yep, he does. That's what we expect to.
2-4 fold, 6-2 fold. back around to the small line, ace, queen of suit. Should fold, right?
I think I would squeeze this. Let's see.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let's see. So hijack takes the
Ace
thin one. This is still in the GTO world. Ace queen. Squeeze or fold. Do not call, and less squeezes than I thought. Now, if he folds, then we are robust. So this call made us less likely to play the ace queen, and it made me more likely to. So that is either a flaw in my thinking or it's an exploit against how these hijacks actually play. Because we all know this ain't the hijack range. We all know that this is not his calling range. So maybe my play is more correct against our pool, but that would be me. All right.
So
He does it, but what size should he go to? What size should he go to, Rodney?
Would that be 13?
Out of position, we're going to add one more. So in
So
position,
14?
we do, yeah, no, not one more bet, not one more big blind, one more of the bet size. So
Oh,
here's how you
so
do your calculation.
16?
Yeah, if
So
we were on the
that's-
button and we do this, we go 3 times this guy plus the dead money. So we're on the button, it would be 9, 12,
No.
then there would be a big blind, 13, and then there would be a small blind, so 13 and a half. So our raise is going to be 13 and a half at least. If you go a little bigger, I'm fine. In the
So
out of
should
position,
be, so
we go
16 and a
4
half?
times. Yeah, 4 times this. So 12, 15,
15,
16.
16 and a half.
The half is already
Oh,
in there. It's counted.
okay.
Yeah. But
So
yes,
16?
16, at least 16. And if you go 16 and a half, that's fine. If you go 18, that's fine. If you go 20, that's fine. If you go 25, you're doing it exploitive. You're making an exploit about how these guys play. But 25, you're sticking your neck out too far, theoretically, if they play theoretically sound, which they don't. But yeah, this, however, is terrible.
Yeah, that's bad, right?
It's bad. It accomplishes one thing. Actually, it accomplishes 2 things, but I hate them. If you call here, this big blind is incentivized. He shouldn't, but he's incentivized to call with all kind of stuff, and you're out of the position against 3 players instead of 2, and that's even worse. So this at least disincentivizes him from coming in because he knows these guys can re-raise. If you do this and you get a big re-raise from one of these guys, you know your ace queen is not good and you can fold it. I think those are terrible reasons. I think you should just raise to a normal theoretical size and play the hand. All right. But given this, what should ace 4 suited do? Well, 9-4. What should 9-4 offsuit do?
It should fold.
He should definitely fold. All right, we got that.
And ace 4 should fold, I would think.
Ace 4 can fold to the normal size, but to this size,
But to that size, I would say
never
probably
fold. Never.
call.
Absolutely. If you have a read on what this size means and you want to go make a 4 bet, you can. Like if you know that this isn't aces or kings, he never does it to this size. He only does it with these kinds of hands. But I don't know that about him. But you just can't fold. Folding is not an option. It's call or raise. You can't fold for 2 more big blinds in this size pot, even if you incentivize 8s to jump in here and smash you out of the pot, and you have to fold because it's 2 big blinds into this pot, and 8s don't feel like the guy who's going to do this. He called behind.
So would the better play then to be re-raised to maybe like 22?
If you know something about this guy's play and that this is the weak part of his range, sure. And you're bluffing. But you want to know something about this guy, and I don't think you know it yet. You have 7 hands on him, and you haven't seen any showdown. And you saw one
So I
showdown.
suspect he's probably just going to call.
Yeah, you saw his pocket fours. You just don't know. You don't know if this is his exploit with aces and kings because he wants to keep people in. You just don't know.
Yeah, but when we don't know, the smaller sizing is usually weak.
You think so?
Yeah.
How weak is this hand?
It's weaker. It's not like I
Not
would
ace-king?
rule. It's not aces. I would rule that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
So With that information alone, I would just 4-bet here.
So facing this action, facing this exact action, you want to 4-bet the ace 4 suited here. Okay.
Yeah, I
and
would
what size?
prefer a 4-bet than just calling. I
Okay.
don't like to play with, like, I basically just have to hit if
Yeah.
I call here.
Yeah. Yep. So what size do you want to 4-bet? Rodney said 22.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
3 plus like 15, assuming we're in position, 15 plus 3, that's 18. Yeah, put a couple more bucks
Yeah.
in there.
Right. Now, if we do the theory thing, which makes no sense because of his size, theory here is this is about a 2.3 plus the dead money, 2.3x, which would be really small because he made it so small. So I would not do 2.3x here. I would do the numbers you guys are talking. I would do at
No.
least, I would not do less than 18 here. And I think if I'm bluffing, I think I'm doing 20, 21, 22. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But he calls, and now the eights.
He's gonna call.
Yep. And what should he do?
Should fold.
Think about it. He can
Well,
set on here so
he's already
properly.
in for 3. So I mean,
Yeah.
he's only got 2 more to.
Yeah.
Call.
You can make the same argument for him that Sam made for this guy, that now it's time that this guy's capped because he doesn't do it by this size. This guy is massively capped because he does this. And let's just take the pot right now. You can make that argument, and I think it's fine. But if you don't do that, you've got a hand that can flop a set against 2 players in position for 2 big blinds in a pot that's already 13. This is massively profitable to just call at least. It may be even more profitable to raise, but this is never a fold to this stupidity. Who wants to raise the eights? Given all that theory, who wants to raise with pocket eights there? Say it or put it in the chat. All right. Mike is calling. Ryan is calling. Sam, you were raising the ace 4 suited. Are you raising the 8-8 for the same reason?
No, that's different. I'm in position now.
Good enough. Excellent.
Yeah,
This
no.
guy was going to be out of position to play.
Why? Like what?
Great.
The story wouldn't work, right? You flat and open, and then now you like
now
4-bet.
You say, oh no, it really was
what
aces. Yep. There we go. All right. Excellent. Okay, we're all on team call. Great. Okay.
Let the bingos begin.
Let it go. All right. This is Rodney's hand, right? Yep.
Check.
Ace queen. What do you want to do? Multi-way out of position to 2 players in an inflated pot that you inflated. Nicely done, Rodney.
I would check this.
I love a check here.
And I would check as the 8-4 or ace 4.
I love a check here.
And this is interesting though with the 8s. When with the 10 on the board, you could possibly not have the top pair. So I would say probably just check.
This is a fine check. The thing that would push you towards betting this is you are in the back seat, and back seats bet wider.
You do have the diamond.
So that's not bad. And you have the 8 of diamonds. So not a bad bet. And check can't be wrong here. If we saw this, we can't do this in a solver. We're so far off. Yeah, we're just in no man's land here. Okay.
Yeah, if I see this in a live game, I would assume
right.
The first guy doesn't have an overpair, so the range is mostly ace high.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second guy probably doesn't have an overpair either, because on this wet and dynamic of a board, they would just mostly let's say he opens pocket jacks and he was afraid to 4-bet.
Right.
Pocket jacks would just bet off here. I would just go purely against their range and what does my hand want to do. I would probably like put out a small bet here just to deny equity.
And on this board, with this is 10-6-3, so 10-6 of diamonds, 3 of clubs. This is a completely different arrangement.
Yeah.
But let's just, because we have this weird 3-bet here and things, but these hands could be in this situation. You could have this ace-4 raise, this 8-8 call. They're in the range, and this guy in the big blind, not in the small blind. Let's see, does this have any small blind calls? Yes, let's do that. He's not going to have ace queen there, but just okay. 10, 6, 3. Let's just see what the solver thinks of the pocket pair here at all. So we get the check. So this guy has some ace queen. This is great. So these hands are going to be in range. He checks the ace queen. This guy has ace 4 suited. He checks the ace 4 suited. 8-8. Yep, they're both are good ideas in solver land. Both are good ideas in the real world. And Sam has articulated why the bet is good, and Rodney has articulated why the check is good. And this
Yeah,
time,
even in a live game range, if you think about the ranges here,
yep.
like if I see this board, who has the strongest range here out of this configuration? It's probably the guy in the last position after the first two guy checks, because this guy was in position. He called an open and then double call a 3-bet. He could have all the sets. So I think even if you bet here, let's say I'm in the small blind and I face a half pot bet.
You have to fold. You've got this guy still behind.
No,
You gotta have it.
I'm saying just from a range perspective.
Yeah.
If I have kings or aces and I checked it because my MO is check out of position, right? And I face a half pot bet 3-way, I'm not sure if I would check raise.
Yeah.
Like even if I have aces and kings, I'm not sure if I would check raise. Because this guy could just have all the sets, like 3, 6s, 10s, they're all in there.
Right. So Rodney, let's say that you know that this is a check sometimes and a bet sometimes, and this time you want to bet. What size do you want to bet?
I would say probably I would go on the larger side, maybe 8 big blinds.
Okay. Now, and the reason is you want to get clean information from them, and you want to get folds because you don't feel if once you get a call, you're kind of lost on the turn in the river. Did they do it with a diamond draw, or did they do it with a 10? That's sort of your thought. That's your thought process there.
Yeah, and I think that the board kind of connects with their range a little bit better.
Okay. So, so let me tell you two things. One is in multi-way pots, your default before you have a better reason is to go about a third pot when you bet, 25% to 33% in general. That in multi-way pots, your bet size is small on the flop. Right? Now you can have a reason to deviate that, and you'll see here that in this solve, it's 1.75 into a pot of 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how is this board better than for their range? If you think
not.
about go back and think about pre-flop.
Yeah.
What happened?
The only card here that connects with their range at all is the 10.
The 10, no.
Yeah.
Do they 3-bet if they 3-bet ace 10 suited out of the blinds? Do you think they check the flop more often, or do they bet the flop more often? I think they would bet it more often.
Yep.
And then the guy in the middle,
they're afraid of a jack queen or a king coming.
yeah, and if the guy in the middle, if let's say he opens king 10 suited, face a small 3-bet flatted, like when it's checked to him, I would imagine he would just bet very frequently. Like literally here, like if I'm with eights, I would just bet here, but I won't use a small sizing. I would use like a medium to a small sizing because
You wouldn't use a large sizing. You said I would.
No, I would not use a large sizing because I would use the same sizing for all my hands. If I had a bluff here, if I had value here, let's say if I flop a set, I don't want them to fold.
Yeah. So the thought process that leads you to betting 10 here to get, the sort of, I want to get cleaner information, and I'm a little, And when I get called, I'm a little lost on the turn.
Yeah,
That is going to be a
perfect.
less profitable thought process in the long run.
Yeah.
Um, we're trying to move away from let's do the thing that makes the next street easy, and we're trying to move towards the let's do the thing that makes the whole hand profitable.
Yeah.
And so in this specific situation, I don't see the reason to violate the multi-way small thing. And so I would go here. I would bet this. When I bet this, I would bet this 5.5. And when I don't bet this, I'd be comfortable mixing that. But I wouldn't go big here. He does, and it's going to work. It's not going to work. Holy shit.
So here's the thing. If you're gonna bet big and they're gonna call you with like this kind of hand, like
Then you should bet big.
yeah, then you should bet big. If they're gonna call
Yes.
you with worse,
Yeah.
if
They're
you
going to
bet
call this
big,
bad.
go
Yeah.
big.
Right. Okay. So this is a bad call from him. What is he thinking though? So Rodney, just for a model of this guy, as we're starting to model him, what do we think is going on in his head?
He's just kind of
Tell me the story you
maniacal.
think he's telling himself, not the story you would tell, but that you think he's telling himself.
That he's just in there battling and he's willing to play any hand.
Okay. I'm going to think that his process is, well, I have the ace of diamonds, so I could get the nut flush. And if another flush card comes, I could bluff the ace of diamonds, and I got two overcards. And I started with a good hand, and nobody's going to push me around.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's thinking. He also could be thinking, tits are fun. We don't know. Hey, picks up equity.
Check, yeah.
You got eights. You bet big. This is you. You would have played this hand this way. So this is you. What do you want to do?
Well, now you're out of multi-way, so now just heads up, just bet half pot.
Okay. And what is that half pot bet in your mind? What are you trying to accomplish with that half pot bet?
I still think that I have the best hand and just keeping him in it.
Okay.
He's already willing to call the larger bet.
Okay. Put your hand over the ace queen so you can't see it. And tell me, do you still think you have the best hand when you play this way? In real games? You bet 10 and he calls you and you've got pocket eights. Are you still confident that he doesn't have a 10, that he doesn't have pocket nines, that he doesn't have pocket jacks played unusually?
No, you're right. Yeah, no, I don't think I have
Yeah.
the best hand now.
Yeah. So be honest with yourself. Now, you don't see his ace queen. What would you do in game with your eights?
Check.
Okay. So does he.
Bingo.
Welcome to poker.
Now the ace queen. Would you just check this?
It's
Or bet?
really, you have the nuts and it's a really hard situation for you because when he goes check on the flop. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to
So I'm
believe
gonna
that
bet.
the eights are
I'm
going to
gonna
bet.
bet
So I think
100%.
you just got to go in. You got
I'm going to bet 100% of the time here with my ace queen.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give you that. The hint is I'm always betting. What size do you want to bet and why? This is you, Rodney.
I'm going to maybe go just a pot size bet to get him to call to stay in.
All right. So now, what is the most likely hand that villain 32 has here?
Probably queen 10, king 10.
10x. Yeah, it's a 10.
Yeah, 10x.
It's a 10. It's not jack 10.
No.
Right? We know it's a 10 because he bet the flop It's also flush draws, and you're making no money from flush draws. It's also a weirdly played 7-8, 8-9, and 7-9, and you're making no money from those no matter what you bet. So don't. So you can ignore that. You can check into them if you want and hope that they will bluff, but that doesn't feel like the guy who doesn't who chickens out on the jack isn't the kind of guy who then turns around and bluffs the river as much. So I think you
We're
want to
not
get called
hoping
by
him
a
to
10.
bluff.
What?
We're hoping then he has king 10 and would
Yeah, we're
bet
hoping he
that
does.
in.
Right, we're
Yeah.
hoping he does. We're hoping he has. We don't think he has jack 10. We wouldn't be surprised to see ace 10 at all. The fact that we have an ace is not that important because his ace 10 should be ace 10 suited and he couldn't have had ace 10 suited. So we do not block any ace 10. Do you see why the ace of diamonds doesn't do that? If we had the ace of spades, it would be different.
Yeah.
The ace of spades reduces the number of ace 10s he can have by 33%. The ace of diamonds doesn't. Everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, good. So we ignore, so the hands that he gets here with that make sense, ace 10, king 10, queen 10. If you want to target the king 10s, bet big. If you want to target the other 10s, you've got to say, what would a 10 call? And I don't think a 10 is calling 38 big blinds here under any circumstances.
Maybe.
Depends.
Right.
Do we
What
have
size?
a
What?
thinking player here? Like they would.
Clearly not. But Rodney, what size do you think a 10 is going to call?
Probably 10 to 12.
Yeah, I agree. So Brian is betting 10. I'm betting 10 here.
I
Uh,
wouldn't go
10.
even to target king 10. I don't think you need to go big. Unfortunately, the time they're gonna raise king 10, that's a small.
Yeah. Raising
They looks
raising
like they played 10x this entire time. Or
this
10x.
feels like such a 10x hand. And it doesn't matter because he has eights, and so he's probably folding to any bet. But that's our thought process. And he goes 36.
Big hand,
Guaranteed.
I bet big.
Yeah, see, like if you have a big a thinking player here, you might get him to call with queen 10 because quote unquote we got a blocker.
You might.
Yeah,
But he doesn't have a blocker to, but he barely has a blocker to king 10 or jack 10.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not beating ace 10. So
Yeah.
all right, there we go. All right. Mike.
Hey, Scotty, can you do me a favor there?
Yes.
How's it going, buddy? Do you have that ran for the turn? Because I think it's important to note the turn decision for some players that want to bet eights there. And I kind of want to see
So yeah,
if we,
no, I don't have it because I don't have the turn.
oh, I see.
But it's gonna be inaccurate anyway. Sixes
Right, because
because
of the click and all that.
right, the
Yeah,
pre-flop because the
understandable.
pre-flop action was nonsense.
No, yeah, I just think the
But yeah,
fundamental of when we're in the back seat and we're deciding to bet under
yeah.
pairs in that spot. And I think the range across tournaments and cash is going to be a bit more polar where we're betting our best hands, then
Mhm.
our hands with equity, and then the under pairs and things like that have showdown and generally check. But I would be
Yeah.
curious to see if that still applies because I would be if we have the eight of diamonds, I wonder if that's going to be relevant as maybe sometimes betting.
I, I think that I think the eight of diamonds is very helpful here. Let's look at it. The eight of diamonds is very helpful here for the bet.
No,
He's
yeah, on the flop. I'm just
on the flop.
curious on the turn if it's still using that part of the range because the jack isn't horrendous for our range. So I'm just curious for myself in the cash situation if it's relevant because I feel like in tournaments we'd be a bit more polar, but we are at a deeper SPR
Yeah.
here as well than we would be in a lot of other situations. So maybe there is some protection in value versus some of the calling range with betting.
Yeah. I would be surprised to see the eights bet the second time, given how much they don't bet the first time.
No,
Should you
of
bet
course,
big?
right.
It's a guess though, and unfortunately
And then when we
I
are
don't have the
betting
answer.
that turn, when we get to normal turn,
Yeah.
Scotty, is it pretty polar? For a bet size, obviously, I don't think we're gonna see like a 33%. Maybe we do
Yes,
mix in
yes,
some 50, and then I mean, a lot of times I would just be bombing the turn
mega
with
polar.
the
I was
range.
about to
Yeah.
say, I think we're turning our hand into a bluff if we bet on the two
And it's a weird hand
here.
to turn into a bluff because it just has showdown properties, and then our range is gonna be a bit more polar.
Yeah, we have
So I kind
tons
of
of
wanted to
showdown.
point that out for the
Yeah,
crew.
yeah,
And
it's great. We have tons of showdown against. We have tons of showdown against his diamond draws that are here. So yeah, but the thing you pointed out that's absolutely true, and we got this from our study of a DTO wizard last year, is that the most common bet size in a simplified strategy was 1/3 on the pot and then pot on the turn. And if your hand cannot support pot, either because of its value or because you want that big a bluff, you check it. So the turn is very polarized. And
Yeah,
this,
yeah. I mean, that would have a
yeah,
very polar betting strategy
yeah,
here. Yeah, right. That makes
yeah,
sense. And then on the
yeah.
river, I feel like ace queen could mix check because the same range we're targeting to get called by is a range to bet. And then, I mean, it sucks with the ace of diamonds because we prefer some ace of diamond bluffs.
Hmm.
But I feel like he would have some natural hands that maybe stab in the back seat and want to go for bluffs. Like this size fucking just gets called by the same range that would bet itself. So I would always consider some check here for the some 8-9 bluff, 4-5 if random motherfuckers get here with stuff like
Yep,
that. I would consider just checking because if I go this size, they check the turn. So they don't, the only
this
two pair
yes,
combos is like King 10. So I would check here more than I would bet or go small and allow some missed flush draws and missed draws to turn their hand into a bluff, trying to think we're blocking with a jack or a 10. I think would
yep,
be best quarter to third. Quarter to third or check is
yep.
what I would
And
do on the
so,
river. So
yep,
I wonder if the
totally.
solver would do the same thing. I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
So Brian and I were both on the quarter to third, and we pushed it all the way down to quarter on this because we were trying to get called by a 10, and also giving room for the king 10 to
Correct.
to think it's got value
Well,
and to
there's
bet us.
a lot of
Well, I
bluffs as
mean,
well. We
Yeah.
discount hands that just
Right.
might spaz out. We don't have a
Yep.
spaz out frequency. A fucking stabbed anything, and a stabbed ace nine, a stabbed jack nine,
Yeah.
jack 10, something just spazzing out. We don't give that option when the
Right.
pot gets this big.
Yep. I agree. The one thing that you said that I agree with theoretically, but not against this guy, is I'm going to check the river. I'm going to check here to give him a chance to bluff. Yes. To give him a chance to overvalue his 10. Yes. But I don't think this guy is the guy who does it with. So the guy who calls in the field
I would
when,
look at it like this. It's a triple Broadway board and a three bet pot. Are they
yeah,
turning hands into a bluff here? It's not
yeah,
happening.
I
right.
mean,
And
maybe
even,
not. Like
right.
whatever we're targeting for a third of the pot, and we miss out a little bit of value, and then I guess
Yeah,
some frequency they'll spaz out or they'll have better. I guess he won't raise with some two pair, which is
right.
kind of sad as well.
Yeah. So we got nine
Yeah.
Yeah,
hands. Yeah. We've got
that's
9 hands
sad.
on. So we don't have that much, but just as you look on this hand, we go
Yeah,
first, first decision passive, second decision
yeah,
passive, but second decision to call it passive, but that's also totally justified by all of his hands. But
yeah.
here's where I think the real information comes. Check, check, bet big, gets
Yeah, the
called,
check on the turn.
and then the check on the turn.
Cooked.
Eight,
Yeah,
nine,
when they
eight,
check the
nine
turn, they're
improved.
super capped here.
Yeah.
Super.
They're super capped
Yeah.
and they're not, and they've dialed down their aggression factor a lot.
But one
Yeah.
I'm
thing
What
not
I've
expecting.
what
noticed,
Right.
bluffs slow down that?
the nuts are what's the nuts generally can mix in a lot
Yep.
of these for the EV. So we can just have a long debate about our player type and we can just do what
Yeah.
we think is best for
Yeah.
neutral EV. Like no decision can be bad when we have the nuts here, whether
Yes.
trap or go big.
Yeah.
The way I visualize these spots.
Absolutely. The
I would
reason
say that I
checking
think
really broke is split.
going big is bad when we know that
I
his
Going
range
big is
is
bad.
capped. I think
Yeah.
it's
I think
bad when we
so.
know
It's the
he's capped.
worst of the option.
Yeah.
True.
It's the
Yeah.
worst of the op. It's the
I
worst of
think
the option.
checking,
Yeah.
even though I think it's very unlikely they're going to start turning anything into a bluff here, especially when they played like they had showdown the entire hand, is also poor. I don't think, but I still think going big is the worst. Because we're
Yeah.
really only targeting King 10 in this situation.
Right. We're targeting King 10 and we're targeting bad play. We're also
Yeah.
targeting, don't ignore the EV of bad play. All
I
right,
mean, I think
Mike.
checking could be very, if we're targeting like a king 10, he's gonna bet that. And then there's missed draws that
Mhm.
when we check raise, they can just talk themselves into calls. I don't know. It
But if
seems
we
so
if we
sexy to
break
me.
down their entire range and we go, okay, so we
Uh,
had a small three bet pot where they're gonna get into this with a wide range of hands that contain tons of tens and lots of pocket pairs. He c bets the flop for a large size check card to the 10 comes out. His hand looks a lot like X,
nines, fucking 10,
Nines
nines,
and
10,
stuff
nines
like
and
that.
9,
10s,
10,
Yes.
9s and
8.
10x.
Sure.
So we
I'll give you
removed
that.
basically all sets and everything like that. And if we're saying, and now we're in this spot where we think he has a lot of 10x and every once in a while he hit two pair on the river, we're basically targeting one hand then versus the large portion of his range
Mm,
that is the 10x considering he
I
got here
don't
super
know,
wide.
man. I
He got
think,
here
I
very
mean,
wide.
yeah, he can, but I mean, I think it's deeper than just a 10x and under pair. I think they can have a wide ass range when they play this style, man. Missed
Okay.
draws,
Yeah.
Yeah.
some
No,
six
I'm
X,
not.
some shit to turn into a bluff. So I'm not convinced either is bad. That's why
Okay.
if we ever run spots like this, the EV will
Yeah.
be very close. And it's a cool, compelling argument because I don't play enough cash. So
Yeah.
I'll defer to you guys always.
Excellent. Yep. And I think, and the thing I really like, I think it's pretty clear what the reasons are, and now we all get to play the hands the way we want to.
Yeah,
We don't have to
yeah.
convince each other. We just
I
have to
don't play
make
enough
sure that we
cash.
all
This
play the
guy
same hand.
probably only has a fucking 10x, nines, eights, and some random under pair, and he
Yeah.
never bluffs enough.
And
And we
sometimes
just
it's
Yeah, well,
good.
miss a bet,
that's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like, there's certain
Yeah,
players where I'll deviate widely. Like, I showed a couple of hands
correct.
last Friday where I deviated very widely from what I would normally do because I know they're capable of blasting. So
Yeah.
those are situations where it's like, okay, I'm going to deviate from my normal strategy. But against a player that's so far, I'm not going to. Like,
Kind of
I'm
like
going to try and
fucking soft,
build the
yeah.
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going
And
to try and
in
build the
and
pot myself.
right. And in our default analysis, just in our default analysis, our first approximation, we're going to only give him king 10 suited. We're not going to give him king 10 offsuit. I'm not saying he doesn't have it. I'm going to say that's going to be our first approximation. And
And he
because
has
of the
two
arrangement
combos.
of these, there's only two combos. So that's another thing there. All right. Mike.
Yes, sir. It should go to the small blind. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go.
All right.
It should go fold, fold, fold. And
Yeah.
No,
It should.
yes, it should. Who says no?
He thinks the
I
ace,
said
he
it
thinks
will
the ace
not,
deuce might
not
call.
it
Oh,
should.
well, if we're gonna speculate what other players are gonna do, then
I
sure,
think
they might.
all right. All right. My model of the ace deuce is that he folds here. My model of the jack deuce suited is what does he do? What's your model, Mike? What does jack deuce suited do?
Jack Deuce, he's
Yeah.
gonna call. He
100%.
will most likely call.
100%. And the jack five, we don't know that he just got here. All right. Of course he calls.
Yep.
We'll just find out. All
I
right.
would consider squeezing with the suited jacks and queens and kings. I would consider
What?
making a pretty big squeeze
What
here.
is this? What is
Why are they
this?
playing this
What
way?
stakes are this?
This
Yeah.
is 50 cent and
100
dollar. This is the
NL.
$100 game. $100
What?
cap game. But this is a particularly bad set of players. That's why we're showing it. So I
Yeah,
played this. I
damn.
played this the other night, and these guys are worse than the usual 50 cent dollar players.
The
So we thought
fuck?
that they were a good model for Brian's $1, $2 game, and we could try to get into their heads.
All right.
So you're gonna see some dubious shit here, such as
Yeah, I
major
guess.
dubiousness.
Wow.
Yeah.
These guys are all
Um.
pros. They play
Yeah. They're all
100%
players.
theory based.
Exactly. Um. I would strongly consider losing another half a big blind with this Jack five suited here. I
Yeah, I don't
would.
know if you heard me. I said I would
Yeah, you
strongly
said you were
consider
squeezing it.
squeezing here,
You're
but
squeezing it,
yeah, and
and
I certainly
good for
wouldn't
you.
call calling either. I would complete here probably
Yeah.
at times, depending on what
Yeah.
I thought of these
Right.
players, but I would probably lean towards squeezing more than completing. I'm not folding it though.
Yeah. But this guy's been at the table for one hand, and so far he's played better than anyone else. That's the best play that we've seen at the table is that decision.
Now
All right.
this guy has squeezed some unusual hands, but he decides to check.
Yeah. Yeah. He's done some weirdness. Okay.
Should go. Let's see. So this is a limped pot. So I'm just gonna guess I should just speculate what they're gonna do which I hate
Well, the
this.
5-7, you can say what he should do because he played it
Yeah,
right.
he should check.
He should check.
King three. Can we lead? I mean, you could consider leading here in a limp pot like this, but I would probably check.
I would lead. I wouldn't want to limp, but if for some reason somebody who limps says, "What should I do here?" I would tell them, "Yeah, one of the magic things about this hand is when you have the pair and the flush draw in this way, no one out there can have a better pair and a flush draw. No one out there can have a better flush draw and a pair. So when you're up against another pair, you're the only one with a flush draw. And when you're up against a flush draw that's better, the ace high flush draw, he cannot have a pair yet. All right, let's see what he does. He bets.
Goes
Good for him.
pot. I mean, sure.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the weirdness where pot doesn't mean pot. You know what I mean? Because it's so small. When the pot is this small, this is more of an absolute size bet than a relative size bet. That's all I mean. All right.
If I somehow had Jack Deuce here to this bet here, I would probably just fold.
Yep.
Really don't have much improvement value here, and you're not closing the action. I would probably just fold it.
Wait,
Good.
Mike,
I don't
you
know
could
if
make
that's
two pair or three of a kind.
Yes, you could. And we're working. And the other thing in this exercise is we're trying to get into their heads of how they play. What is this guy going to do, Mike? You know the answer.
Oh, he will call. Absolutely call.
Absolutely. No question. This is what we're getting. This is what the exercise is for. And this guy is going to.
I wouldn't be surprised if he calls because he thinks he's got some sort of draw, but he should fold.
He should fold. I think he does
Oh,
fold too.
We've seen him make some pretty weird plays, so
Yeah, he has. Yeah. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it post flop multi-way that weird yet. We've seen him do pre-flop weird. Okay, here we go. Sorry. So there we go. Turn. The 5. Haha, he would have gotten the best hand.
so he
What do you
potted
want?
the flop, got called, bottom pair, flush draw. Um, I'm not sure if he should continue or if he can just check here. I would say either is fine.
Yep. Yep. As played, I would check here on the idea of he can't, I can easily call a bet. And the range that calls me mostly should have a 10 and like that. So,
Yep.
and I expected he would check, by the way, because of how he played the other hand. He was our pocket eights player, but he doesn't. So my model of him is inaccurate. I expected him to check there. He bets.
And
Small.
well, I mean, he should fold, but
He should
I
fold.
don't think he will.
Let's see if he's figured it out by now. I'm going to guess he's figured it out by now. Nope. I guessed wrong.
And now that we went bet, I would almost, I mean, if I bet again, I'm thinking it's going to be a bluff.
Right.
And so if that were the case, and we just paired this 10, I guess you could, you're targeting fours and sixes and sevens and eights and nines that didn't raise.
Yep. That's what you're targeting.
And you probably don't have much fold equity versus those anyway. I think I might just check and give up or check and hope they check behind is probably what I would be thinking. And maybe betting is better.
Right. Okay. So here we go.
He's been
Should this
passive.
guy think,
He'll
and what
check.
is he thinking? Right.
Yeah, this guy is going to check.
Yeah. And he just hoping that he's up against a flush draw. And yep.
If you reconstructed this hand with no idea, would you ever guess that either of them?
Have these hands. Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that this gets the showdown and King 3 ever win.
Right.
Like, I would just think that guy's never winning.
Right. We are scribbling some notes right now. All right. Rein.
All right, let's go. So goes folds up until the king queen.
Good.
And cut off with a raise. All right, no, never mind.
All right.
Okay, just a limp.
That's how you get to a V.
Yeah,
That's how you get to a V78. But he still had it. But he has an R of 22. What the
yeah.
hell? All right, there you
Three
go.
bet of 29.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
I
only
think
got nine
he only had
hands
one
though.
opportunity. It only. Oh no, he had two. I don't know what. Yeah, he did that weird. I don't under. I do not have a model of this guy. All right, moving on.
Anyway, fold on the yeah, and then the big blind probably just checks.
Good. Now, when you're in the big blind here, and you get limped to, this is very often a dog shit range, right? In this case, it's not.
Right.
This is the non-dog shit. This is the dog sled part of his dog shit range, but it very often is. So you might think so. Here, one of the exploits you can do is three betting wide. I'm not three bet. Is ice?
Right.
It's not even ISO because you're ISO. It's just raising wide. Just raising wide against his
Yeah.
dog shit range.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean the I think the 2-5 is a call. Like if for some late bets, like
Yep.
if he would have raised,
Yep.
it might have actually been a call, or it might be the button, but
Yeah, even against the button. It's 5-3 is in there. The five deuce is mostly a fold. Against the cutoff it is, and against the button it's mixes.
oh
Five
right.
three, it'd be Brian's hand.
Yeah, 5-3 is fine.
Oh yeah, no, it's against the small
That's the
blind.
nuts.
Right.
It's against the small blind that it's a
Yep.
pure call.
Yep. So the thing
Um,
I just wanted to say out loud here is that thought process of I should raise these hands against their weak range is a legitimate thought process. And I want to counter it with, because you want to exploit them, right? You're not playing to GPO. I want to exploit their mistake. The exploit
right.
here is you got to see the flop for free. That's your
Yeah.
exploit.
And also actually like wouldn't like your hand being like low cards be more likely to be dominated by the weak range? Kind of.
In this particular case, yes. But you're
No, this
hoping
is yeah,
you're playing it for folds. You're playing it for pure folds. And
right.
you know, but I think that the check here is a much, much better play. Your exploit is you got to see that flop that you
Yeah.
never should have gotten to see. Right. Brian says if they don't fold, don't ISO it. And he doesn't fold. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Right.
All right.
Okay. So here we go.
So I think that it's gonna like the 2-5s should probably check.
Yep.
And the
And
king
you could easily
queen.
get here with 2-5. What would you do with 2-5 here? Because you would play it this way. So what would you like to
Right.
do here?
I would want to check.
I'm with you. That's a great check. Yep. Check, check.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
And then this happens sometimes.
Right. I mean, I definitely wouldn't like betting into like another overcard that
Right.
doesn't really give us any more equity.
Yep.
And I can see this being a good, like a decent opportunity for the what is it, for the cutoff to bet,
Yeah. And I
as
expect he will.
they didn't like see any action on the ace on the flop.
And is this
So
the guy
they
we expect to bet pot here, or do we expect him to bet one big blind? Which was the guy who bet? Which was the guy who bet pot? I think it was him. So basically bets pot.
right. Yeah, and I think the 2-5 probably should just fold.
Yep. Yep.
You
Perfect.
don't have any more draws. You have a
Yep.
pretty low pair.
Yeah. Perfect. And had he played it differently, he could have won the hand. But I think that that's still the right play.
Right.
Josh. 2, 3,
I don't think
4.
he wins the hand if he
All right.
plays it differently.
He could win with a bet on the. Would he win with a bet on the flop?
I
Maybe not.
floated with ace queen, two
You're
overs and
right.
three
Never
bet
mind.
pot.
He can't win that hand. All right. Josh is not unmuted. So Andy, Josh, come in if you.
It's on
next time
me.
you get it. You're on. It's on you.
All right, we are going to fold all around to the big blind next hand.
Good. That's what should happen. Is it going to happen?
Sure,
Oh.
sure that'll happen.
Scotty's going to fold. I know that much.
Hell yeah. We suspect.
I'm
we
guessing
suspect a thing.
33 is going to limp in.
Yeah, we don't know if he limps this bad, but we wouldn't be surprised. It's hard to get to a V of 80, people.
It takes effort to get to a VPIP of 80.
Right. And here's that other thing that we said. We only have 10 hands on him. We have a VPIP of 80. We haven't seen any of the hands, and already we're guessing that he plays things as wide as this, and we're right. 10 hands is a big enough sample size when you are this far out of bounds. All right, good.
Now,
Everybody else should fold.
if his RFI was like 80 as well, then we could not assume he was a maniac yet without seeing the hands, but
Yep. But we start to guess it. It's not a bad guess. All
right.
But yeah, you can get 8 good hands out of 10. It can happen. Rare, very rare. Okay, here we go. So Queen 5, same speech. What's his best move? What's
He's
the
gonna
exploit?
check. Best
Yeah.
move. I mean, although because this guy we haven't really seen anyone ISO him yet.
Mhm.
So we don't know what his reaction to an ISO is. And Queen 5 is just too trashy to even try. Because even if he is folding a little too frequently to ISO raises, Queen 5 suited, yeah, we can start thinking about ISOing. But I think Queen 5 off is just too trashy. We have to check.
Right. And it's a great exploit. We got to see this flop that we never had a right to see. That's the exploit. All right, here we go. I said that before. You got a gut shot. What do you want to do, Andy? Because this is you.
Actually,
This is
against
you.
this player, how wide they are, I don't mind leading out. I'd lead out probably pot, but it worked.
Yep, nicely done. Nicely done. 6s. I give you a hand. What should everyone do?
Shit, am I muted?
Nope, you're unmuted. Yep, we got you.
I mean, shit. Fold,
Good.
raise.
Okay. Let's see if he does.
Um,
Yep, but yeah, so we start with that. I agree 100% he should fold. And what did you expect him to do?
yeah, I mean, these guys are playing all their suited connectors. I've played in cash games like this where no suited connector.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah. And I
these are
want to
very
remind you, I'm with you. He considers this a
yeah.
connector.
Yeah,
All right.
one thing I find interesting that cash players do, like I'm a tournament guy, and
Yeah.
you guys are very perceptive about everything that's happening at the table. And I can really appreciate that. Like you guys are really dialed in on the ranges that people are playing. Sometimes as a tournament player, I'm really dialed in on my strategy and whether I'm gonna
Right.
expand or contract by pips or whatnot, contingent
think-
upon my opponent's strategy. But you guys are really like, okay, can I get really fucking out of line? Because this guy is dog shit, right? You
Right.
guys are
Right.
really trying to max exploit these guys and get really outside the box, and I can appreciate that.
Yep. And you've seen that my
the difference is with cash and tournament is cash. We have so many less spots to study, so we have to be so specialized in those spots.
Yeah.
Like tournament guys, you need to be extremely well versed from 10 big blinds up to 150 big blinds.
Mm-hmm.
We can
just need to
study
know how to
100 big
exploit people.
blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are just trying to figure out like, okay, how bad is this guy and what can I exploit for the most amount of money? And what are these guys, are they going to squeeze me behind too much? Or are they going to be bad and just let me get away with over limping, ISOing white myself and stuff like that? So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Starting to-
So you're now so right now 6s.
Okay.
This is you. You're villain 34. You've seen this limp, and you haven't been here this whole time. So you haven't seen just how much he's playing because you've only been here for 4 hands.
Yeah, man. I mean, I would
What would
just
you
if
like
I
to do with
see the
5-6?
table's this loose and passive, I'm probably just too rich to fold this, and
Okay.
I am going to ISO this and have nice board coverage, and take 4, 5, 5, 6 plus, and be kind of aggressive, non-theoretical. But in a theoretical sense, yes, sure, this would be too loose, and I would want to be a more condensed tight range. But playing against players this bad, I feel like just being involved.
Sure.
And VPipping a
Okay.
lot of playable different hands seems quite appealing.
Good. So when you ISO here, what's your ISO size?
Uh, 5x,
Love it.
5.5.
Right.
Never going 3x. That's too fucking
No.
small.
Perfect.
4x is probably reasonable at the bottom of the small, but 4.55, 5.5 seems
Perfect.
fun.
That is perfect. And if this guy decides to limp behind, do you hate it?
Uh, no, I don't really hate
Yep,
it.
I'm with you.
I don't think it's, no, I don't hate it.
No, not
No.
at all. He has not seen a lot of, a lot of three betting, and he got to see the lovely min three bet. So he's
Right.
got a good chance of seeing a flop. So both are good. Um, probably probably folding this is too tight at this table. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
because
but
it
I
really
wouldn't.
is. I mean, you're not going to get punished enough. You're going to see it. You're going to realize there's not too much equity to
yeah,
ever fold something like
right.
that.
And I don't blame
Yeah.
him because he's only seen four hands. So
Yeah, he
he
doesn't
doesn't know
know
what's
if
going
his
on.
people are
Yeah.
crazy and
All
squeezing
right.
behind. And he's probably just playing too tight theory, so it's understandable.
Gotcha. All right. What would you like to do with ace 10 suited?
5x,
Absolutely. Never limp behind this. This is
never in a
always an
million
ISO.
years.
Always an ISO.
4 seems small, but it's, I mean, this
Yeah.
guy, they got one over 132. I'd be minimum 4.5, 5 to 6 for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
This seems
Yep.
small as hell for how
Yeah.
deep they
Yeah.
are.
And if you've watched this guy, you could exploitatively go a little bigger because you've seen that
Yeah,
he likes to call. So you could,
Justin gets on me about using bigger ISO sizes,
yeah,
so I
yeah.
get it.
All right. What do you want to do what do you want to do in the big blind?
That's not full.
Hell yeah. And he folds it. We were wrong.
All right,
He
cool.
doesn't play that. All right. Good enough.
It just
Uh,
Interesting to
happened.
not call that if you're
Larry.
gonna play that kind of hand. You may as well just fucking peel
Yeah.
always. I
Yeah.
don't
Just
know. What are you
throw away a
doing?
blind.
Tells us now as we move forward, we know that he might be kind of tight to ISO sizes.
He
Oh
might
yeah.
be, but I also want to remind you of a player that you guys have all played with at live, which is he limps lots and lots of hands.
He's a limp
Some
calling
he
range and limp
raises,
folding
some he
range.
raises, and when it comes to him, he goes, "Well, if there were more people in the pot, I'd play."
Ooh, yeah, that guy.
We've seen that guy. So if it had gone limp ISO, he's in there. If it had gone limp ISO call, he's in there, even with his 3-4.
Buy that guy a beer, yeah.
Yeah, he wants to be in multi-way pots with suited hands. All right, Larry.
Hey, gents. All right. So, yeah, we're playing ace jack suited. I would open to 2.5 big blinds.
Right? He goes 4.5 either because that's his size or he's gone to exploit. We'll find out.
This hand can mix, but I would not three bet it this early. I would just chuck all my three bet plus into ace five suited. At this table, I would actually discard both ace five suited and ace four suited because we're we're getting too many calls. You're not going to get
Yep.
enough folds for it to be profitable. So
Look at the size.
I'm just folding.
and the
Wait a
size, there's a
minute.
lot of dead money out there, but I'm
Are
still
we
going to
really
fold
have those
this
hands in our
year.
folding range at 6 max?
Say it again.
I'm curious. I'm not
If you play
capping.
if you play a, if you play a three better fold strategy from the field, which is a perfectly reasonable way to play in an ante in a
I
block
thought he
in
was
a
saying
rake
first in.
feed
My
with no
apologies.
ante. Let me say that
No,
again.
I thought he
In a
was saying
rake,
first in folding those.
yeah.
Nope, I apologize.
And
I
so
misheard.
and so and so ace four suited and so if you want to know what your three bet range here is,
No.
it's all the it's all the good hands, and then down at the bottom there's this little L of ace four suited, ace
Uh,
five suited, and king five suited that you see in all of them, and none of them are pure. So your ace four suited is one of the ones you sometimes play, and some it's a half and half.
yeah,
King
Scotty, I
five suited,
misheard you. I thought he meant not opening that first in.
no,
My
no, no.
You meant
We would
three
apologize.
bet
open.
bluffing.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah, three bet bluffing. That's still, I mean, feels
Yeah,
a little tight to
right.
not try it, but understandable.
But notice this. But notice this open size.
Oh, and
That's
we're
what.
fucking out of
So
there. Yeah.
exactly. So ace four suited is a mix to a normal open size. You get to this bigger open size and you don't know what it means yet. Let's find out with somebody else's money what this guy's strategy is. And that is a principle that I want to stress to everybody. If you ever find yourself on the river going, I want to call because I want information, you could have gotten that information for free in another hand that you were watching TV or looking at your phone on by watching how that guy played against somebody else. So don't spend money for your information when other people are going to spend money for your information. So yeah, this is a great fold here.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that when we've got a call happy table, that
Yeah.
we have a more linear three bet strat.
Yeah. Yep.
So, all right, he takes
And
it. Give me another one, boss.
I'm going to give you another one, and we're going to keep our eye on him and see, is 4.5 his standard size, or is he varying his bet? Because that's a big open for
It's funny
Jack.
when you're watching TV poker, they ain't never folding that shit.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Nobody's
They're
ever
also
They're-
on.
folding a hand like that in TV poker.
In the old days, by the way, on TV poker, back when they didn't have all the streams, one of the reasons you couldn't fold that hand is because you wouldn't be invited back to the show.
Brother, I'm talking live at the bike and all that shit
No,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody's folding
Modern
that
TV
now.
poker.
Today,
Yeah,
modern poker cash games,
Well,
they don't
even they
fold
have
anything.
reasons. They have reasons too, is that they won't get invited
Yeah.
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Larry,
So this is an open for ace 10, and it should fold around. He should raise and take.
all right. And he does. All right, one
Actually
more.
have.
Larry. One more. If this one goes
This
raise and
is
take,
an open for ace 10, and he should raise and take it.
yes, he should.
Nope.
That's a unprofitable defend, sir.
This is. All right. Let's play it out.
Okay, so you should check. In theory, I think. Big blind have straights here. Maybe he has 9-7 suited.
Sure,
So
Bell has queen 9 suited.
I think we can see bet. So we can see bet to anywhere from, I think I prefer probably the boring half pot here.
Okay. So what are your reasons on this board to bet small?
So in theory, you can bet small here because there is locked up equity.
Yep. That would tend to push your size down. And so what I would say is, I would say that if you want to bet to the half pot or 3/4 size pot, you're not crazy. But if you're over betting this, you're crazy.
Yeah.
That if you thought you had overbets, your overbets get pushed down to 75s, and your 75s get pushed down to 50, and your 50s get pushed down to 33 because of the locked up equity. All right. And do you hate him just checking behind with a marginally made hand that he doesn't intend to fold?
I think checking behind is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I like them both. I like them both. Only thing I don't like is I don't like a pot size bet, or bigger, and I prefer half pot and smaller, and checks. All right, here we go.
He's
Great.
bet small. I don't think you get to continue with your gutter here. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think you have enough. The 9 also brings in.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a
the
gutter.
end of a gutter.
Yeah, he does have the 9, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, he does. He does. It's a pure gutter.
Yeah.
It's a pure gutter. Yeah, we're gone. We're gone. All right. And for fun, this is going to be our first one we're going to solve, because this is our first hand that's been normal enough to even look at in a solve. He did a 2.5. Yes. So just looking at the lovely peak GTO 2.5 range, he was in the hijack. So we have a nice, lovely, just to use a tool because we have it. Hijack raises, big blind defends the 5-7 suited. So we're going to give him that 5-7 suited and give him that gut shot that he's got. There we go. Board is Jack of clubs, 10 of hearts, 8 of diamonds. And there we go. Check range, easy. Ace 10, mixing, no surprise. The amount of ace jack that mixes is a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And note the size.
Well, it looks like everything mixes. It's not just
everything mixes except.
Well, his flopped straight doesn't.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because it's in theory unblocking all the continues.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing that doesn't. But
so flop straight has got that special quality in theory where we're bidding aggressively.
Yeah. And here's how I'm playing this that even approaches anything even close to a GTO strategy. I'm betting all my ace jack, and I'm checking my 10. I'm moving all of the second pair into top pair. And so this is pure green, this is pure red, and I still get my frequencies right. That's what I'm doing. All right. Facing the small bet, the under gut shot stupidity is not even considering it. You barely do it with this one, which at least can pick up a 5 and go, well, this can pick up a 6 and go open-ended. So anyway.
What's interesting is Queen 9 is slow playing sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, slow playing, like it's forced to check on the flop. Like in this solve.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Slow
There
playing
aren't
here, slow
donks
playing
in
on bet.
cash on this solver, so
Right. And let's see
Yeah.
how much it continues that line when it does it. Call. The turn is a blank. We continue to check it. We do not donk out on with the queen nine now. Now our most common size is in this range. So let's take the 8, the less confident one. Queen nine.
now it needs to
Now
put
we're
money
done.
in
Now we're done.
with your
Now we go
100%
goes
equity.
bigger. When he goes bigger and he has some confidence, now we still slow play there.
Yeah.
All right. Great. And if he went this size, we're never letting him get away with that size. Okay.
Got it. Can you do me a favor real quick? Go back to
Yes.
that. I want to see something that
Yes. What do
I'm
you
not
want to
used
see?
to. Go to equity for me. Just
Okay.
the equity on the top
On
right
the
under where it says
here, I see
strategy
it.
EV.
I see it. Equity.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I meant the strategy.
This one,
Where
right?
is it at?
Strategy
I
plus
just
EV.
wanted to see the equity between both ranges.
Oh, the ranges. Range versus range
Range versus
Oh,
range
equity
equity.
graph, you mean?
Yeah,
equity.
the equity graph.
Of
That's
course,
what I'm
yes.
trying
Yeah,
to
this one.
see.
Yep, this is
And
us.
then go back to the in position player on the flop.
In position player hijack on the flop.
And so it shows us how close the equities run. Oh, so we got 55%
Yeah.
versus that. Okay. I know they
And
call
we
it
are
the
I
more
we are
like
condensed
that
against
style.
range.
and there's
In
no
cash games,
crossover.
they don't have as much junk as they do in tournaments. So I'm just kind of curious on this configuration, how big the equity is.
Yeah, because
All right.
look at this big blind range here.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
way
never
tighter than cash.
you've never
I mean
seen a big blind
tournaments.
range like this.
No
Yeah.
shot in hell. Maybe deep in tournaments.
Yeah, this doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
this is 10% of field left or some shit.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. We got tight little big blind ranges
Yeah.
in
I
tiny
just was
little
curious
teams.
how close
Okay,
equities run.
there we go. All right. Up next, that was Larry. We are on Dean.
All right. Ace 10 raise.
Ace 10 raises, finally. And by the way, note my massive exploits at this table is to have played no hands.
Yes,
That's
sir.
my exploit. There we go. I'm back down to 2.5.
Here we go.
because these
Scotty
guys-
the Knit.
because these guys are gone. Because my 3.5 guys are gone. And that was a conscious decision. That's not
Please,
a random
King
decision.
9 3-bet Scotty here and make him fold.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. By the way, if he three bets
Oh,
me, I'm
Dean.
folding ace 10 like
I
that.
know you will.
There we go.
Oh, damn.
All right. King deuce.
Yeah,
Easy fold.
that's yeah.
He checks
Check.
raise.
He's gonna bet small.
I'm gonna bet. You bet I'm gonna bet. I got the ace of spades. I got
Mhm.
backdoor equity. I have some showdown, but I'm not this isn't ace king. I'm not playing this for its showdown value. I'm betting. There we go. All right.
There you go.
There we go. Brian.
You.
Okay.
All right. King 6 open.
Okay, good.
Fold, fold, fold. Defend 6-5 suited or 3-bet.
Right. Is
Against
6-5
your
suited?
stats, I would defend.
Right.
Against
So
that
6-5
knit.
suited. So never fold. I got that. Even against my stats. 6-5 suited. Everybody knows that this is well represented in the 3-bet range. This is part of your 3-bet bluffing. If you've never seen this chart, let me show it to you just so you see it once. This is with a 2.5 big blind open. I was the low jack. There is no such thing as under the gun 6-handed. This is called the low jack. Big blind. Don't miss.
Why is he giving you no King 6 suited in your open range?
Because this is because he's a doofus. Because I'm opening it. Because
Oh yeah, that's a peak range. The peak range has King 5 plus.
by the way, so does GTO Wizard in the 9 max game, bizarrely. So here,
Right.
this is the 9 max game. Yes. Because the reason I opened it is these are the ranges that I memorized. King 6 is there. So I did an insane thing early in my poker career was I memorized these 9 max ranges, including the semis. Because I thought, since I'm going to be a cash player, not a tournament player, I only have to memorize one set of ranges, the 100 big blind ranges. So I might as well really get them down. And it was an insane exercise, but I did it. But I didn't do it for all the different models. So this is the one that I know, and I knew King 6 was there, and I don't care that King 6 is not in this slightly different model with a slightly different set of assumptions of.
Oh, that's because it has an under the gun. Go back to the six max. Okay, yeah,
This is
okay,
six
no,
max.
you're right.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
Now go to the big blind, then after go to the 8-9 max for that. It's gonna be more accurate. 'Cause it
all right.
has the king six.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, we'll do that just to look at it. That's fun. So here we are. We get in here with the king six. We raise, and here is the big blind's response. And look at all of that three betting in this region here.
Yeah, you can condense it all to 6-5 if you want.
Yep, yep. But if you are never three betting in this region, then you better tell me that's because they never fold to three bets, and you only can have value because they, they are because they're always doing it. If that's the case, I want you three betting even bigger.
Get certain players
Right. Exactly. So just know
will.
this is these hands here are well represented in the three bet range across all positions. They are well
If
represented.
if I didn't see someone's VPIP of 20% and playing with would like anybody else probably gonna actually I still don't even love it. But yeah, so we defend with 6-5 suited.
Yep. Yeah, and we fully expect this guy to call, not three bet. We don't expect him to find the three bet. If he
Yeah, he's
finds a
got
three bet,
0.
if he finds a three bet, I'm folding. By the
Yeah.
way, so it'll work. He's not going to find it. There you go. All right.
We get a terrible flop.
Terrible
Right,
flop. That
so
should have
we
something.
check 6-5 suited
Mhm.
out of position. This is a two street value hand.
Right.
Not really. I mean, I'm gonna go with my favorite line and bet
Yep.
small
You're
here.
going to bet. You're going to bet 50%. And
Yeah.
and if you're practicing to play GTO, you're going to be checking back some of your kings. And
So
is this one of the kings you would? Would this be one of the kings you'd check back?
yeah, I'd probably check back like king nine or worse, or king
Yeah.
eight or worse.
Sure. Sure. Great. Yeah.
So we go small.
Go
And
small.
we don't have anything going on with you bet
Three to a
small.
flush, three to a straight.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm betting
I'd
tiny.
fold.
This is this.
I'd
I
still
would
fold.
bet that this is. I would bet this is never a GTO fold. And he goes for the check raise. He
Oh,
found it. Oh, I love this guy. I love this fucking guy. This is none of these players. I bet this is real. I bet this is real. All right.
yeah, say this is it. I would normally like if I had with double backdoor, I'd fold, but with some sort of front door, I would
Mhm.
definitely go for a play
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. We're gonna look this one up and see if he does it. All right. And we.
I mean, I bet you're gonna fold.
Oh
Oh,
fuck
you're
yeah!
gonna call.
I'm calling. Let's see what
Well,
he
you're gonna
does on
make
the
him
turn.
fire.
Let's see what he does on
Ace
the turn.
comes. So what is your range? No, I would never check
Oh,
there.
oh.
Terrible. So we went to check isn't actually terrible, but what do you call with? Like you're not calling with ace high here and ace jack. You have ace
Mhm.
king, which you just made two pair with. You
Yeah.
have king jack that's slow played. You have it's like king queen,
Mhm. That now have a gutter.
nine, king eight, all the things with a gutter that you can
Yeah.
still get value from. Pot 16.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean your range gets obviously stronger whenever you call,
Yep.
but I think the ace is a poor card for you. You're not gonna love it most of the time. So,
So when he checks to me, what do you want my play to be here?
well, if he was bluffing on the flop, let's give him another chance to bluff on the river, and we're
All
not
right.
gonna bet
There we go.
value.
We'll do that.
Now four comes in, and if you check back the turn, oh man, what does your range look like when you check back the turn? I think you have missed straight draws, you have king X, weak king X. How much is that gonna want to call here? And then I just don't. I think your range is pretty weak here. If I got here with six, I would think that you think that my range is weak here after I
Right.
check the turn. I'm a weird spot against a fishy player. I would just 2x the
All
fold
right.
basically everything. Against a decent player, I would check down
Gotcha.
because it looks weak as well.
Now, should you bet small, very small here to get me to fold? Let's look at what the hand is. Should you try to get me to fold pairs smaller than the jack and backdoor flushes that remember, because I only called one bet. Queen 10 got there. So yeah, I don't think you have a target up for a small bet here. There's just aren't, they're not well
Oh,
represented in my
yeah. What
opinion.
are you targeting? You can target.
You're
I
targeting
think
auto
that
folds that you lose to.
against
Wait,
the
no,
fish, I
you don't
would
lose to
blast
auto
it.
folds. Don't bet. You don't lose to auto folds. You chop with
Why?
auto folds.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless I have a
Mm.
queen.
So my question here
Wait.
is this like still in theory where we're going to use the bottom and the top of our range and be polar in these kind of spots since we did check raise on the flop and in a slight way he's a little capped. I don't know, or is he always betting his
Which
sets on the
he
turn?
which he's
Hero.
sixes. Okay.
Hero. Is
Hero,
Hero
heroes. Yeah, he's
capped?
betting.
In a way. I mean, I imagine they're still calling ace queen, not betting ace queens, ace tens
I'm
on
betting
the
ace queen.
turn, right?
We would say,
Me
But
personally,
in a
I am betting
way,
ace queen on the turn.
yeah, I was about to say, in most players, if we're playing against the normal player, ace queen isn't going to get to the turn. I mean, they might get there actually. They have a
yeah, ace
gutter.
queen
Yep,
of
got her.
diamond spades
Yeah.
and clubs need with the backdoor flush draw and a gut shot, calling a
Yeah, but
check raise seems, is that not normal?
I
No,
think that
that's
it's
common.
not normal. It
Oh,
is.
okay.
It's
I
common.
Yeah.
mean,
It's
When we
common. If
see
you, I,
this, when we see this action, when we check raise the flop and then position player checks back, we cannot 100% exclude sets. But what we will say is
less.
it's less than what equilibrium would say.
Right.
So his range is much more capped. Then it will be way more profitable to bluff here
I was
against
gonna say,
So
a range that's weaker. Here, I would say the strongest hand the in-position player has is probably ace queen.
yeah,
yeah, that's what I would think as
that's
well. So I would think like I just get to these spots and we ask ourselves, because if we're trying to play theory based and we want to be polar here, like, is this the bottom of our range? And
yes,
then a solver
yes,
generally, when
for
we
yeah.
get
damn
to
sure.
spots where we're at the bottom and the top of our range where they are potentially capped, I think at this point we could have more 4x in some ways to mix check raise with the bottom of our range. So I just would question is if this is the bottom of my range and would I need to use this and be polar? Because if I have a 4x, I probably 2x pot or something like that with that to try to get value from the ace queens, the ace 10 heroes, stuff like
Well,
that. So
I would look at
I
I would
wonder, I
look at
want to
it.
look at a
Yeah,
spot like this because I'm curious as a just a poker player if
I would say that in this spot, I like 2x pot river because we're gonna get called snapped off ace queen, I think a decent bit of the time, but I think that population is never calling with a single king or a single jack here.
yes. Yes.
So we can make all of those hands fold at almost 100% frequency, which I'm gonna say like that. I mean, I think a larger portion of their range is king X than ace X. If we go 2x and we can make all kings fold, we can
Uh,
go,
I'm
we
just
should
worried
just
about
2x
the
pot, make
structure of
everything
my
fold.
range when I get here in these spots. Like more so than what they do, because I think there's some element of just them being a little capped by not betting turns. So when that happens and we get to this rivers, we just fucking have to go crazy with the bottom of our range at some frequency. Like there's just no way we can just give up, right?
Yeah, and I'm arguing that
Except
we don't have to stare at our bottom of our range. I think when this action happens and the in position player, it's way more capped than what a solver would
Yeah.
suggest. I think
Right.
we should just way over bluff.
Yeah,
so
I
because
We should
like
we're
just
gonna
that.
get
way
snapped by
over
Yeah.
ace
bluff.
queen.
right.
That's how I feel, bro. It's
Yeah.
like,
There's
bro, he's
one
way
real
more
important
capped
thing
than a
about is
solver.
there's one real important thing about that bluff that Brian said is that bluff needs to be 2x pot. That is not a
Yeah.
three-quarters
Oh,
pot
I'm
bluff because I'm calling you. If you
I'm
go
losing my mind.
three-quarters
Yeah.
pot, you go pot, I'm calling you with this king because
Nah.
I'm not worried about my kicker. So
S-
no,
So yeah,
note
can
that.
we see the river there? Like, am I
Yeah, we're
out of
gonna go.
line for,
Yeah, we're
or
gonna
do
go to the
we
line.
need do we have anything worse that we can use? Is what I'm looking
No,
at my
this is the worst hand.
range.
These cards don't even play.
Yeah.
The
So
one weird thing about this board is that when you give up, you don't always lose. you
Sure.
chop the pot. You chop the
I know.
pot.
If I wonder if that's
Where it goes.
relevant in a
We're
situation
gonna find
like
out.
this.
We're gonna
Yeah, I
find out
want
in
to see.
Solver
I'm
Land.
Yeah.
curious as hell.
I
So,
would.
so first thing in Solver Land, the 5-6 raise, absolutely. All the back doors here have it. They're the
3 to a
minority.
straight, 3 to a flush.
They're the minority play, but 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. We got to bluff something. Let's go. So they bluff it, and he does it. And me here with my king 6, I don't fold to that. Come on, come on. I may be a nit, but there's still a TO after my N. All right, we call here. Turn is the ace of diamonds, I believe. Yes, it is the diamonds. It's got to be. Yes, ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds comes in. When the ace of diamonds comes in, my prediction is that
Do full size.
yeah, let's do that. That his 5-4 suited that his 5-6 suited that got here now needs the diamonds to continue. That's going to be my prediction. Yep.
Yep.
So we give up with everything else, but we continue with the diamond. And this is the lesson you go. When you are bluffing with backdoors and you get one of your backdoors, you continue.
So then do your range. So let's say he doesn't continue,
Checks.
and you
And my
check.
king and my
Now this
king
is
6
what's
goes, wait, let's check.
yeah. Now let's look at everything else he has though. Like all of his sets are continuing. Are all of the sets are continuing? It looks like except for
This is you
kings
want
and
him?
aces.
You want him or
No,
me?
no, no, no. You.
Me.
All of your so all almost all of your yeah almost all of your strongest hands are still continuing here.
I love
So
him.
I think that it's even more expected that all of their strongest hands against our player pool are continuing here.
Right.
So when you check, I think you're extremely more capped than
Right.
you are here in Solver Land. So now you get to 2x pot the river from the being out of position
Right. And let me
to
give you an
make them
example
fold
where,
so much.
yep. And let me give you an example where you're correct. I bet the ace queen here. I
Yeah.
can get here with ace queen. I can absolutely bet ace queen small. I can do this. That's an easy thing for me. And when you raise me, I can call with ace queen. I have that
So if
ability.
you're playing against someone that plays my style of poker, Scotty, what would you do on this turn when check two with king six, like in this exact spot? What would you do?
Check. Check.
You would check and expect,
Absolutely.
and would you want to bluff catch when I 2x pot the river? Are you
I
going to
don't
be
want you to
more?
spot the river, but I'm ready to do it.
Okay. I was just wondering because I was like, I don't know how you're going to want to adjust in that.
I called one of you fuckers down with I think I might have called one of you fuckers down with ace king high in this position recently. Didn't work.
You're, well, Dean, you're right, but Dean, the
What was
average
this?
player is going to bet check when it goes bet check the river. It's
No,
going
it
to
was one of you
be
guys.
a.
No, it was one
He's
of you
talking.
guys. It was a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
So you had
I
to,
knew the guy.
okay. So yeah, I mean.
The top of range.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
I would like against the standard against field. I'm from out
Right.
of position there. I'm going to X pot the river and expect that I get snapped off
Right.
aces
So
and
there's the check.
basically everything else folds.
Right. The 4 comes, doesn't complete doesn't complete anything. The 4. You want now? Let's see what our bluffs are. Let's see how polar we are. Polar, polar.
Yep.
Now let's
So
make this look for real. We got to go this to see when we ever have them. But still, how's that sixes? Do you like that?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I
Seven
love
six
it.
suited,
Anytime, can
7-5 suited.
the bottom of your range and the top of the range are set
Bottom
to
of your
be
range.
capped. Yeah,
And the nice
it's
thing
just
about
the same theory applies across
just
poker,
bam, bam,
just
bam.
always.
No
See,
king.
against you, Scotty, I wouldn't want to run this play if I checked the turn because I'm now capped when I check the
Can you
turn.
make it
So
big?
you can call
Full
me so
weighted?
Yeah,
much easier.
Thank you. I just want to say,
yeah.
you just get
Nope.
fucking ape
No
shit.
kings do it. Aces are these are value bets with aces.
Easy.
And this you want to bluff your 5-6, you go ahead.
See,
Go.
man, you guys put people to the test so much and cash when you get in these spots.
Yeah.
This would be tough as hell, honestly.
Yep.
I don't think tournament players
You
play
got
this
to be.
aggressively in these spots ever without the
Oh
nuts.
yeah, it's fun to
It's
put
fucking
all the
hard.
money in.
150%
Very
pot,
fun to
just
put
bang
people in the
bang.
blender.
Right. The guy and our
It's
guy
hard
just
as hell.
our guy
It's
just takes it
fun.
easy.
I have punted off a couple $100 jamming on the river and get called, but
I was about to say,
hey,
I punted like
Understandable.
300 last night on an all-in jam.
You guys get to see you guys get to see a $1,500 river bluff of mine. when I do Saturday's hands.
Jesus.
You're gonna like it. By the way, hint, that one worked.
And no, I would say that if I knew I was playing against you, Scotty, I would never want to run this
Yeah,
2x pot river bet
yeah,
because you're gonna be, I'm
yeah.
pretty much capped.
But it's the right, yeah, but it is, but your cap, but the problem is your caps include a 4.
That's true. That's the other thing is that I'm gonna have
You don't
4x
have
in my
fours in
range
this.
that check raises you. Well, actually, if you're playing against me, I'm gonna have a lot less 4x.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
check raises you on the flop
yeah.
because I'm gonna go showdown with that.
Yeah, but this does exist. And the ace fourness of it, which seems unusual, isn't insane because we've seen people, we've seen people pick up the ace and then check it. So if I if you do this 2x pot and I call and you show me ace 4, I'm gonna go, yeah, that does make sense. All right, here we go. Next hand.
Maybe
That was whose hand was that? It's so hard to tell
Was
who
not
has.
mine.
that was me. That was
That's
me.
Brian.
I said two.
Okay.
No, we didn't see what he does. Does he just give up?
Oh, he just gives
You
up.
never saw the oh.
Just gives up. And
There you
I
go. There you go. There you
no,
go. That's why you
I
do not call the river bet.
I
These
bet for
people
And
are
then
way
watch him
under
check
bluffing.
raise.
I
Exactly.
bet for value. I bet for value trying to get called by a jack and trying to put
Now I
another
would
king
now
unhappy.
I would love to put you in the blender.
Let's see if he does. Oh, if he does, if this guy
Man,
does,
He's
I'm
super
then
gangster.
our study session is over. If this
now
guy
I would say,
raises
what does
me,
he check here? What does he get here with? Then checks the turn. Then yeah, no, I would fucking love
That
to
would
put
be gangster
like
if he
raise like
jams that
50 big
river.
blinds here.
by the way, 100% that would work, Brian. 100%. You do that to me, I'm folding.
There
I
you
do a lot in
go.
I
my
mean, the
games,
river
and
check raise is never a bluff in cash,
All
almost
right,
ever.
all right. So this is
Katie, you should
theoretically
play with me then.
unsound. This is theoretically unsound. This bet at the end. What do you think of it? What do you guys actually think? What do you think of this bet? I believe this is no
Um,
GTO.
no, I think that this is a bad bet because if he check raised you with top pair that got scared of the ace on the turn, you're not good.
Yes, I am.
What top pair are you beating?
I'm
I
not
guess
beating.
unless it's king queen.
I'm maybe getting I'm maybe getting a chop to fold. I'm not losing.
Yeah, technically you
I'm
don't
not
lose.
losing
Yeah.
to anything. I'm not losing to anything except King Jack.
That's
I
a
beat.
horrendous
I
bet. What are
chopped
we
the King
doing
Queen.
here?
Then actually the bet makes sense then because if we think he never has ace X here and he has some sort of king X, then we get
Mhm.
to bet 100% of the time trying to get him to fold a king.
Yep, that's
So
exactly what
then
it is.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but why don't you bet smaller?
I'm trying to get him to fold a king.
He's trying to get him to fold a king.
He's targeting a king.
As
I'm
opposed to trying to
targeting,
get him spaz.
I'm targeting a king to fold.
He doesn't want him to spaz
But I'm
here. He
not.
just said he'll fold if he spazzes.
But I'm not sticking my neck out so far as to try to get an ace to fold that played weird.
I think that you just clicked a button here, Scotty, because I don't think this is the size you would use to get a king to fold.
Okay. All right. I clicked a button.
Personally, I don't know. I don't know what you were thinking, but I'm saying like in this spot, is this do you think this is the size you would use in game to get a king to fold if you had nothing here?
Okay. I'm changing my mind. I did this to try to get a jack to call.
Yep. Okay. I was about to say because it doesn't seem like that's what
Because
you're
it's
trying to
not
do.
true. It's not
Yeah, I was
true.
about to say you're not this is not the size you would use to get a king.
Yeah,
You're
king,
going for
I
value
gotta
against a
go.
jack.
What do I gotta go 19 to get a king to fold? 19, 20?
Probably.
At least 16 though.
We go at least 20 here, I would say, to get a king
Yeah.
to fold.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will accept that. And this is not the
You're on
size I
your
would bet to
bullets
get a
here.
jack to call. So this is clear value of Brian. This is value of Brian. This is a mistake. The bet's not a mistake, but the size is a mistake. I agree.
Yeah, the way
Me
the hand
too.
played out, I mean, if I'm villain 31, I'm never folding a king to that size.
Yeah. Yeah. That was,
Ever.
yeah. Okay. I bet this to make a king unhappy. There we go. I wanted to make a king cry, not make a king fold. All right. That was Brian. Up next is Rodney.
Okay, let's see. The 10-8 should fold.
Mm-hmm. Good.
10-9.
Do we think there's any chance that this king 9, but this 10-8 is going to limp though? He should fold.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a chance,
Yeah,
but you probably will.
I think he's going to fold this. I think he's more suited happy than 10-8 offsuit happy. But if he does call here, I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Yep. Okay. 10-9.
10-9. should raise
Yep.
2.53.
Yep. All right, let's see how your memory is. What size did he raise the last time he raised? We saw one raise from him.
4.5.
4.5.
4.5. Let's see what he does. Aha.
Now
Scribble,
we
scribble,
make a note.
scribble.
No,
Scribble,
no.
scribble, scribble. Splits his opening size. All right.
Should fold.
Fold.
He should call.
Let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. My instinct is that this is a fold, but let's see. This was from Hijack. This is a 2.5 open. So just in this preflop model, a perfectly fine one to learn. Hijack raises, button, Queen Jack. This is a fold.
Oh,
So look at this.
Do we ever
Exploitatively,
think,
this
do
is
we
good split.
want more info first? Or if we're paying attention, we said, well, hey, last time this guy opened a 4.5 and now he's opening smaller. Do we ever think about three betting here?
Not yet. Not with just two hands. Now we just scribble a note that says he seems to be splitting his range. We want to see that what the split is. Because what if he always plays 2.5 from now on and we see 4.5 twice in 2 hours? What do we think that 4.5 is?
Monsters.
Pocket jacks.
Cash game, guys. I got a question. Is it too high variance to come sit down six max and take my offsuit jacks, offsuit tens, ace 10 that region with my value region and just three bet it every time versus these guys? Or are these guys really that tight at online cash? And do you want actually a more
You
straightforward, tight ass range? Is it
so
still
if
like that?
so if
I
you
mean,
want
obviously,
if you want to play
solver's
against
going to tell you to play tight.
right, yeah, if you want to play against their mistakes, then you want to be even more linear in your three bets because the mistake they make is they call three bets too much live. Okay, that's
They call too much three bet. Oh, they
they
call
call the three
three
bets too
bets.
wide, so you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
just
yeah.
go linear, remembering that ace five suited is still in a linear range. It's even though it's bluff,
Golly.
it's there.
You'll run
But
into players that open too wide, and against those players, you want to three bet wider. I mean, you're
yeah,
still using strong hands, but you
right,
want to
but
three
not here.
bet wider than usual.
Yeah, you
But
just take
Queen
but these
high will do
more.
some of them.
yeah, but these hands are I think these hands are still dominated by their calling range, by their open and calling range. So I don't think you want. I don't think you
Because
want.
we're
Well,
just the visibility's poor, the reverse
Yep,
implied odds when we're
yep,
this deep
yep,
effectively.
yeah,
It's not like in tournaments where they're just going to overfold as
no,
shallower SPRs.
no,
Here we just want strong ass,
right. And if you
nutty
want to make an
buddy, nut
adjustment,
flush,
yeah,
king high flush.
yep,
Yo, I see you. I see you.
exactly. And if you want to make an adjustment and you want to three bet them a lot more, which I totally respect, let's go queen jack suited 100%. Let's go ace five, ace four
Just all
100%.
your suited
Yeah,
aces, more
yeah, don't,
suited
yeah,
king
yeah.
blockers.
We don't need to add any of that in.
Not
Okay,
the offsuit dog shit
right,
because it's just gonna be
yeah,
reverse implied odds,
okay,
and they're still just gonna peel you too
all right.
wide and
30
have
seconds.
king queen.
Okay.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yep. I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna come to your room. Okay, bye. Okay. So yeah. So that's the answer. You
Yeah,
want
yeah, I
to
got you.
do more of them? Don't add any of these hands in and just
I was
go.
just wondering if it's high variance and shit. I can see
Yeah,
it is. We're too
but
deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
but when you're playing with someone like I don't know how deep you are, but I know I played a game where a guy was like 75 big blinds effective. He was
Uh-huh.
opening far too wide, so I started to three bet strong unsuited big cards because I'm
Yeah.
fine with making strong top pair hands when he's opening far too wide. Like
Fair.
I'll three,
Yeah.
and I want to isolate him and play heads up in position against him because he was a very poor.
Yeah.
So it was
So now
like,
you so now you're doing the different exploit, which is you're doing the exploit to be against this guy is, this guy's opening 80% of hands. Queen Jack offsuit now is a dominating hand, not a dominated hand.
yeah,
Fair.
that's what I mean. I'm saying if
Yeah.
they're opening too wide, if they're not opening too wide, but they're calling three bets too wide, then you just want to be super linear.
Right.
Yep.
And pound
All
But
these.
right.
yeah, against someone that's opening
So,
wide, and I'm fine with expanding into the offsuit region a bit that can make strong top pair hands if you're not super deep.
Okay. So I'm gonna
And
have to
I'm
go.
also, in the words of Scotty, remember, look to your left.
Yeah.
Yes, in the live game.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So
we can look to our left online as well. We can look at how
well, yeah,
often the
you can.
blinds are defending, how often they're three betting. We can still look to our left
That's true. That is
online
true.
Yeah, this guy has given
if
us
we're
no
running
reason
a
to think
HUD.
he's
If we're not
opening too
running a
wide.
HUD, obviously that doesn't apply.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna have to leave. If you guys want to keep going with other hands, you'll have to find some other hands. I'll open the room on Friday. Larry's gonna lead the group on Friday, and like that. Bye, Larry.
All right, talk to you
Anybody,
on Friday.
Bye, Scotty.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you,
Scotty,
Scotty.
anybody have hands?
Do you have some
I have,
hands?
I have
I
some
have.
that I was in some spots where I was really. Do you have some? Was that Ryan?
Yeah, I actually played a bit today, earlier today.
You can go over me. I go all the time.
Yeah, Ryan, go
These
What's
ahead.
my
are
Bring some
hands?
hands to the group. Let's see what you're up to.
so
You
yeah, I
probably
mean,
scraped some hands up.
You were done, Andy. A retired poker player,
Andy's
Andy.
back.
I'm out
Andy's
of
recovered.
retirement. No, I fixed my face.
So
well,
I'm
yeah.
in a mean downswing of getting cooler and cooler and cooler.
And coolered and
Yep.
quads over quads twice in 2 days.
Oh, that's painful.
Not as much as that, but I'm just getting, I mean, just spots where it's like people are just consistently outdrawing me, and
All
it's
right,
just ridiculous.
all right, sir. Give us some context. Are you playing online or live here?
Yeah, so these are online like six max, like 25 an hour games.
All right.
And I haven't played like I've mostly been studying, and like for some reason playing actually feels a lot different than when you're studying or like using the trailer in the peak GDO. But
It's the money's real.
yeah, but also you have to constantly like set the sizes and stuff. I
Yep.
don't know.
Can be very
It's
hard to synthesize what you've been learning when you start playing.
yeah,
There's
but
always
Yeah,
a learning
you're
curve for most
the
you're
people.
also
There is for
playing against
me.
a computer,
yeah,
not people.
that too. So these are all the hands that I like starred. Um,
Okay, so you're
on,
100 big
on
blinds deep, and you open cut
yes,
off, I assume.
yes,
You said this
and
is online?
this is online. Yes, why?
Okay. Do we know anything about the player that called you?
No, not like I've been trying to pay attention to the other players, but not like
Hard online.
I like the it's I'm not sure if I'm able to uh, like if can you actually export the player data like the VPIPs and stuff from GG Poker to like Poker Tracker or something?
You can. So on GG Poker, there is a tool
Yeah,
where you
like
can
the big
download
poker
your.
craft.
You can't do it real time like you could on, let's say, Poker Stars, but
But
you
also,
can
also the
download your
VPIP and
hands.
stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
Also the VPIP and stuff. In an easily
Well, you can't.
replayable
No, you
hand.
can't because it anonymizes the hand histories.
Or
Yeah,
just to copy and paste the important information into the player's name
like
whenever I build
like
the hand.
I can open my poker like the whatever the thing is, and like but then you don't see the hand as it is being played.
Yeah. So there's a separate website that you can go to
Okay.
with your GG account, log in, and you can download your hand histories, which will then import into a poker tracker, be it Hold'em
Yeah,
Manager or
no,
Poker Tracker or whatever, hand to note.
I know I
But they
know about
don't
that.
they're anonymized, so they don't show the users' names.
Right.
But it's good. I mean, you could track. You
But
have your
like
hand histories. You can track your.
I have not purchased the Poker Tracker yet. I have used the free link a while ago.
Oh yeah, I'd look. There's a bunch of them out there. I'd look at them.
Well, so he checks to you,
Anyway,
assuming.
So he checks
yeah,
you. I mean, so in theory, you can bet small here.
right. Yeah,
One question you might want to ask yourself is, does a check raise suck here? Check raise does suck here. If your hand's
right.
pretty static, it's hard for it to improve, especially on this board. Betting small is fine.
Yeah, I've been thinking like don't be too scared of flushes. It's pretty unlikely for him to have one, right?
Sure.
In general. So
He calls. All right.
okay. So I think I want to like he checks to me again. So if he has like a flush, he could be like trapping me, right? But I do think I do want to continue going. Yeah,
Sure, 9-10 got there too.
yeah, that too.
Mhm.
What do you
If I was
guys
playing
think?
live, this would be super player dependent. Against most of pool, I would continue for a big size here. Against trappy players, I would try and
Yeah.
recap them, target the river, figure out what I'm targeting on the river. But yeah,
Uh, all right.
4.92. All right, what does he do?
See, and then he
He
folds.
folds.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Ace didn't
this
have
was the
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So like
Well played.
these are the hands that I like. Yeah, I starred and then wanted to review. Like I literally played them up until like an hour before
Sure.
this
So
meeting.
you can open this hand on the cutoff if it folds to you.
Yeah. So I open and the big blind calls. So yeah, this hand doesn't hit either of us really. Like the big blind a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, I like to bet here more than I think solver does because the twos don't really interact with his range that much,
yeah,
depending on
it's only
how he's
really the
playing.
six and maybe
And
like
I
some.
think generally people overfold here. So, I mean, they're not defending like ace highs enough here. So I like a C bet here. But probably mixes in theory.
If I had like two overcards, I'd probably see that. But like having just the king with a low card, I think made me to go for the check.
All right.
In particular, I like the king, this hand, this low king to C bet and C bet
Yeah,
on
it's
the
gonna
larger
see that.
size.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. It might be better to check back ace high here because
Or
when you bet
king
on
10 or
flop,
king
you can
jack.
fold out his king highs.
Sorry, what did you say, Mike? I couldn't really.
Oh, yeah,
I
no, I
didn't
was
get
saying
you
like
catch
this
what you
king
said.
five. Yeah, I like this king five, more of a C bet as opposed to I would think I would like to check back hands like king 10, king jack.
Okay, so like more C bet and like hope for a fold then maybe.
Yeah, because I think Larry was saying it as I was talking. I didn't quite hear him, but whereas this hand will get those other better kings to fold. Um, whereas if you have the king 10, king jacks with a bigger kicker and you check
Right.
back, they still maintain some of these hands like king 5 and king 6 and you dominate. But that's just kind of what I'm thinking.
All right. Anyway, I check. He turns a queen. He checks back. Um, so now I do wanna like bet. I'm not sure. Like I like the small sizing in hindsight.
I like the small sizing because you can construct two streets, right? So, assuming you don't get any showdown on river, if you don't pair up on river, you can continue your bluff. And generally, I think a two street telling someone twice you have a good hand is more effective than telling them just once. So I like your size.
I like a bigger size though.
Okay. Any.
Like when they check to you, they either have a bluff or they have a showdown hand here.
Like
So
fours, five.
yeah, the nutted hand is probably like he probably doesn't have pocket queens, or he has
Yeah.
very little like pocket
I mean,
deuces or pocket sixes. Those would check, but the majority of his range, he either completely missed and he's giving up, or he
right.
has some kind of a showdown hand. So here's what I would think about the hand to structure him to get him to fold by the river. I
So
would
you
bet,
want to go larger so he
yeah,
folds if he has
we're
crap, and then
yeah.
if he has something good, he might actually raise.
No. If I want him to raise, I would bet small, but I don't
Okay.
think he's gonna raise here. And if you bet big and he raises, you could confidently just muck your hand. Like the the thing is, I'm trying to get him to call with his showdown because his air is gonna fold regardless of how much you bet. He's either gonna have like some kind of a straight draw, flush draw, something like that, or he has a pair like threes, fours, five, six, seven, eights, nines, or like he has like queen, jack, king, queen. Like the strongest hand is probably like king, queen. And we're very deep here. We're deep enough where I could size it twice, where I probably could get him to fold out like queen 10. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna take the small sizing. Like I always think about like what is their range when they take this action. When they check to you twice, they're either giving up, they have very little nutted hands. Like he probably doesn't have pocket queens. Like very,
Wait,
very few portion of his hand is nutted, like pocket deuces or six deuce suited. And then he has a
Mm.
bunch of like showdown value.
We can
What
discount tons of Queen X2 because we expect them to come out and
Yeah,
X on the turn here.
yeah, but because it's a queen, they might check like a queen
Yeah.
nine suited might check. But
Yes.
tons of hands there. It's showdown, and the best bluff is when you bluff the first street and then you pounce the second street with the bigger sizing on the first street, and you get them to fold on the second street. You get that value. So I'm value betting here technically against his showdown because I will get him to fold pocket sevens by the river.
And he has a lot of inelastic shit, like
Yeah.
large size, and then I'm just gonna fold on the river.
So here I would probably take a sizing like all the way up to pot. Like
All right.
nothing smaller than you could even argue in going over pot, like nine, because we're deep, like nine big blinds, 10 big blinds. If he calls, then we have 25 in the pot. We have 85 behind. You could 2x pot him and get them to fold. And
Mm.
once you realize if they don't fold, you tone down your buffing and then you take thin value for large sizing. That's how you keep tweaking to keep them on their toes.
You can find the bluffs that are like small bluffs where you expect that they're never gonna fold their Queen X, but you can make them. You're losing too. You
Yeah.
have something like 7-8 here. But all right, so we go small. What does he do?
All right. So he calls, and then 9 on the river. He checks back to me again. Um.
Yeah, see
So
this size accomplishes like pretty much nothing because
Not
I
folding a queen to
guess
this size. He's not folding a seven. You might fold a flush draw.
yeah, he might fold a
yeah.
flush draw.
I mean, yeah, you get a fold from
Yeah.
like 4-5,
Well,
3-5
but yeah, but
clubs.
I'm winning from those anyway. Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, unless
Yeah,
he has an ace high flush draw, you're ahead of that.
yeah, I would have gone. I would have overbet river like
Yeah,
B150, B200.
right. And yeah, he calls with and he has a
And yeah,
queen jack.
Yeah, see, like plus the pot is not big enough. If you make it like pot, or if you bet 1.5x pot, which is like 9 or 10 bigs, then the pot is like 26, 27. And then you put
Yeah,
another like huge bet out there, like 45. Like
yeah,
put yourself in his shoes. You're like, what the fuck? Right?
right. Yeah,
And
I see where you're coming from.
that's when they would fold big hands, is when you put pressure on them and overbet and overbet. Like, because if you're here with like queen 10 and the pot is like 22, and then you face a $45 river bet, I don't think you're happy, right?
Yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be 45, but yeah, this is like 25, like 10, 25 cents.
I mean, yeah, the,
45 big blinds is what it
in
means.
terms of big blinds,
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I mean, these are like hands that afterwards, so I was like, I wasn't really too happy about how I played them, so I figured I'd load them up. All right. So opening with nines. All right. So this one, I was think I wasn't like a little bit curious about like what I should have show slow played it like I did.
I like to
yeah,
check.
yeah, checking is fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like a check better on a board that has a lot going on. You think is going to get stabbed often?
Because I mean, it is the button that calls cold, right? Which this board should connect quite well with.
I mean,
Um,
there we go. We go.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
in
broadways,
theory, you
like
can definitely check here. I
Yeah.
think I would probably lean towards, if there was a meter, I would lean towards c betting with value versus most of the population, just because they will call more than they should and not aggress.
yeah.
I mean, you can go if you go for a check raise, you're going to generate more fold equity than you normally would, but you also get to play a much bigger pot, which is what you want. But I think you can go. So what if you went like 4.5 big blinds? You can target their straight draws, their queen X, all that stuff. We'll probably bet if you check to them, except man, probably not the straight draws. They play their draws too passively. So I would go bet on this board because you guys aren't super deep and I mean SPR is just tough. Like it's a dynamic board, but it's not very wet. The nuts are likely to change, but
yeah, I would bet with my overpairs, and then like king queen, I would go bet. I would bet my thick value,
yeah, but
but this I
I
would
like if
still.
I was 200 deep, I would definitely go for a check raise. But on when I'm 100 deep, I think I can just go bet. I've just been adjusting that a lot of my good hands, I'm just gonna go bet with when I'm super deep because you know, if they're it just seems like if it was a queen of clubs, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think either option's fine. You can't really go wrong.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
All right, and then I think I then do wanna like
Yeah, see, I would
um
check again here, and then like
yeah that's why I was thinking like should I just like refrain from betting here and
yeah.
just like slow play even harder.
Would you want to check again, Sam?
Um, the, I mean, if I want to take this line, I'm just gonna, keep checking.
Because like
Uh,
now not like it because he just ends up falling to the small bet.
I mean, like some some of the players, they will check their showdown on the flop, but when you check to them again, they're gonna start stabbing.
A lot of their showdowns should be brought around 9x. I mean, they'll have 8 and 6s, all that.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of that's left. You're blocking a ton of 9x.
I am
yeah,
really in the camp of you either check here or you bet a bigger size. You don't bet small.
yeah. I like betting bigger or checking here.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy just
Because
didn't have anything, so you didn't really do anything
yeah,
Yeah.
wrong.
But I
You
mean,
obviously had nothing.
checking might have induced him to bluff
but
or
you
like stab
see,
himself.
you're in the mindset of, oh wow, I have a big hand, but now I bet small. He folded. He just happened to have a range that, like, he just happened to have a hand in his range that was like not worthy of continuing. You need to think about his entire range and what does our hand want to proceed. When he checks back on the flop, that means he's either giving up or he has showdown.
But
Uh,
wouldn't you want to bet is the size that they're going to take with their showdown is likely not going to be as big as you want to make it, and they're going to fold to a lot of raises. So if they're coming out and betting their pocket tens, or that they probably don't really have much of, but like sixes, sevens, eights, all of those hands are going to probably take a smaller size than you would, but would call a bigger size you would take. And then they're going to
exactly.
fold to a check raise. So I don't want to check the turn. I want to,
E-
if he has a lot of showdown, I bet size with the bigger size.
Exactly. Like here,
Right,
like
that's
if I'm gonna check or bet big, when I do check and they do stab, I'm just going to call because their range is just way, way too weak when they check the flop.
Yeah.
Like I would assume when it's a player in position, if they have some kind of an air draw, like a 10-8, they're probably just gonna start betting the flop.
right.
So when
Okay.
they do bet the turn and I do
Yeah.
check raise, then I'm just gonna generate too much fold. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take a
and the,
line where I'm gonna check call the turn and then I'm gonna donk lead the river. Because I know they're not betting their showdown value on the river.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
But
think that
that's
way.
why I like that's why I like a over a check. I like a bet just because the sizing that they're going to use isn't going to be as large as you're going to use, but they will still call, like a
Yes.
3/4 pot bet instead of letting them come out and bet their quarter pot with pocket eights.
right,
Yes.
yeah. So you were saying like 3/4. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. A bit bigger, like 3, 4, 5. They like if they have pocket sevens, they're just gonna call. If they have like queen 10 on the flop that they didn't stab, they're just gonna call.
Uh,
I mean, yeah, I think a lot of their queens going to bet in position here. It's very
Yeah.
different than out.
yeah, I mean
You were
they
out.
probably would
Yeah,
have bet on the flop.
this is.
Um,
I mean, it's really the guy didn't have anything, so it's not like it.
Yeah. Like the guy doesn't have anything, so it's not like I
yeah,
wouldn't say it's badly played. I mean, he doesn't have a hand. He doesn't have a hand. Oh well.
Technically, with his range being as weak as it obviously was, maybe your size was
Yeah.
he would have called with a king high or some shit.
But it would be a crime if he bets the flop. It would be a crime if he tells you he has a very strong hand. Let's say it's the same flop. It's queen nine. What was it? Queen nine, four deuce. Now you bet the turn for like a small sizing, and then all of a sudden he raises you like large. It would be criminal to just call
Yeah.
because they don't bluff turns.
so
So
you
it's
think if he would do that, that he would have pocket queens?
no, he could possibly like turn a set of deuces. That was what I would be thinking. Or like some people play queen deuce suited, you turn two pair,
What
some
do you
shit
Right.
like
shoot?
that.
But
Then
like
that
if
is
he raises, you wanna free bet him then?
yes. Here's the thing that I've learned from Hungry Horse. Like when you have a nutted hand and you recognize your opponent is under bluffing, where they have a very, very strong range, and you have a hand that could beat their range, you should just never bluff and just pile all the money in, like
Yeah,
as
because
quick as possible. Like if
yep.
he raises me, if I bet two here and he raises me to 8, I'm bet three betting, and I will never be bluffing. I'm only calling if I have Jack 10.
It's like
That's
some
it.
of the spots I showed you guys last week where I was folding very strong hands. It's because they're never bluffing. If I had a cooler type hand, I would just pile money in when they're check raising me because they're never folding. Their range is way too strong. I mean, the
I
one guy check raised me on the turn into two players after I went bet bet. Like
Yeah,
he's never bluffing. If I have a set or two pair, a top two pair, I mean, I'm gonna get cooler sometimes with top two pair, but I'm gonna get all the money in right now and cooler his weaker two pairs or my set that coolers his two pairs and weaker sets. He's never
yeah.
folded.
Forget about your hand. Forget about your range. I have a nutted hand. They have a uber strong range. They could have turned a set of deuces or two pair. Pile in the money if you get raised here.
All right.
Yeah, and we can discount queens heavily, so that means you basically have
Yeah.
nuts here.
All right. Let's see. S1 sixes. Yeah, so like again, so kind of so like I get called by the big blind. Let's see. So let's see what I was thinking. Like good, decent range for like decent flop for my range compared to the big blind.
Yeah.
And
That's not
hence the
that's
smaller bet.
yeah, that's not what I think these days. Absolutely like I don't give a fuck about the range. I'm like, what is their range and what are they gonna do?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
the other thing is he's just studying like peak GTO. You said you're newer, right, Ryan? Newer to
Right.
poker
Yeah.
and studying and everything. Sam and I play like in a super exploitative strategy that are it's very
Yeah.
different from
Uh,
GTO. So like this is
yeah.
a
No.
spot where we run a big better check situation where we are going to big bet our because ace boards they are most likely to slow play their strongest hands on ace high boards because their ace can't get counterfeited as top pair.
yeah.
It can be counterfeited now that there's a flush draw, so they're more likely to play their stuff here. But I mean, honestly, this isn't as bad. I mean,
It's it yeah, it's not as bad. Like I've
because
made
it's
some
wet and has a lot of
yeah, yeah,
draws,
yes,
they're gonna
yes,
raise a lot more of their strong hands on this
yes,
board than
yes.
usual.
Absolutely. On these kind of boards that are connected and has a flush draw, even on ace high boards, like I have been making adjustment to like size down to get them to raise off with their strong
Hmm.
stuff because
Yeah,
I
that's an
noticed
adjustment I
like
like.
yeah, as soon as it's wet, if they have like ace eight off, they will raise more often. So we really don't need to use the large
Big bet.
sizing as often as opposed to like ace
Ace eight
nine
rainbow.
yeah, ace nine deuce rainbow. Then you take a big bet or check strategy.
Yeah, they don't have as many draws to call you with, and they're not gonna play aces aggressively, but you can cooler their aces with your strong aces, so you get to go big and get
And
them to call with it.
we're thinking about getting an opponent to fold ace nine by the river here when we do that kind of shit. Like when we do like half pot and he calls,
Hmm.
we're thinking about if the run out is favorable, all the money will be piled in, and we're trying to get him to fold like ace nine. That's what me and Brian is thinking here.
Yeah,
Right.
I actually like this sizing then because I like the super.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not bad.
It's really gonna entice them to raise off when they have something.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
We think
So,
that his
Uh,
range is weaker, but we also are in a spot where we
yeah.
have showdown? We have showdown against his flush draws, but we don't have showdown against anything else. So we get king on the turn. What does he do?
checks. So like once again, like aces and kings should be better, a lot better for me than for him.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and
what is his range?
he has ace x, 10x. He has
Yeah.
flush draws, straight draws. Mm, Yeah. So
Good at.
what does our two cards want to do?
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
could have completed, right? Like he could have had a turn straight
Queen
now.
Jack. Yeah, Queen
Yeah.
Jack. So I like your sizing then because we it is a nut changing card. We're able to still get all those weaker hands to call now before we get them to fold in the river. So we go small here, and if he raises off, we just get the hell out of there. He probably completed. And he calls. What is his range going to the river?
It's
I
probably
mean,
not two pair, not straight. It's probably like a single. It's either like
Yeah.
a flush draw with a pair or
Yeah.
an ace.
And
you
yeah,
check.
I think I do give up here,
Oh yeah,
which
no, 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 no,
might
no,
have
no,
been like a mistake. Yeah.
no, no,
Like
no,
How
no,
much
no.
if you had ace king here, how much would you bet to get ace nine to
To call.
right.
even ace queen?
I mean, I'd probably be less than pot, right? Like something like half to like 2/3 or like 3/4.
Yeah. So if you need to make that hand fold, how big do you think you should go then?
Um,
Because we think we have
oh, oh,
showdown
to,
here
oh, oh,
against
to
his
to make
misdraws. Yeah, we have showdown against his misdraws, but we don't have showdown against basically anything else. Everything else is ahead of
yeah,
us.
yeah. Um,
Which would you bet to make that hand like a weak ace fold?
my pot size bets.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
we
a
need to
plus.
go bigger. If you think three
Yeah.
quarters to get them to call, then we would think we'd want to go bigger than pot to get them to fold, just to be sure that they fold.
Right.
Say, would go
Uh,
like at the minimum, you got
like
to go like 28 big blinds.
so
Yeah.
You're gonna try
you
and
wanna
get that hand to
go
fold.
like you wanna go
Or what?
over 101.5.
Yeah, I'd probably go to like 36. Make sure they
Yeah,
fold.
yeah. That's what I'm there, like 35, 40.
So okay, you want to go real big in the spots because I
Yeah.
I mean,
guess uh,
I know you're
you're gonna get
studying
called
this.
sometimes.
I know you're studying the solver. This would sound like an alien language to you, but
yeah,
trust
no,
me, it works because you're honing in on their
They're close.
range, and that's how the low stake players and live players play. Like when they check raise too much of their strong hand, even if they didn't check raise the turn on the river, they mostly just donk if they hit the straight on the turn. They donk out.
right, yeah.
Like if they have two pair or if they have a set, like you see
And
them donk out.
I do actually
Yeah, you do
win
actually
this
see.
one, but that's because yeah, he
Yeah,
missed
but
his
there.
draw,
Yeah, but his range is so fucking capped that
right?
there's so many aces in there. Like there's like ace five, ace six, ace seven, ace nine,
Dude.
ace jack.
Yeah,
No, in there that you could make fold. You just,
Ace
you
Jack, I
just.
think, will be slightly more difficult, but
I know, yeah, it'll be more difficult, but like there's a bunch of them, like uh, 10x of clubs, king x of clubs, like king five of clubs, king eight of clubs. You can make all those fold. Like you just like at the river, you just need to think about what hand is in this guy's range. Is
you
it
could also
worth?
get here. Oh, sorry. You could also get here and say, "Hey, I think this is a player that's never folding top pair. Think I'm going to bet small here to get him to fold his." I would go for a small, maybe even pot being the smaller side. We think we can get next to fold and all of it. I mean, his flush shows are folding either way, but we think we can get all his 10. We just go pot.
Yeah, like Jack 10 of clubs to fold, like that kind of stuff, like
right,
and ten
yeah,
7 of clubs to fold.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's player dependent too. You obviously don't know. Like, I play with a lot of similar players all the time. So, like, I know there's people that I'm just never going to try and get them to top pair because they
yeah,
won't. But there's also players I know will fold top pair when I just blast them off with insane. I mean, I've had people fold top pair, top kicker on the turn to me when I went check raise, blast the turn, and they're like, they're showing me them folding top pair, top kicker. I'm like, okay, well, this is a person I'm going to go very small for value and huge with bluff because they will just.
Yeah,
mm, yeah. I mean,
we
I
are
feel like
massively unbalanced. I'm telling you that we are
yeah,
massively unbalanced.
I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the Sam, someone finally started trying to exploit me too.
right, yeah. The
I was
Ukrainian
surprised.
guy, or
Yeah, the Ukrainian guy finally started adjusting my style of play, so now just to him.
all
I think he
right.
just closes his eyes and he has a decent hand.
Uh, see which hand was this?
Great.
The multi-way
No, this is
Yep.
just heads
single
up.
race.
Online, so it's not multi-way. Pretty
I
single
mean,
hand.
there is plenty of multi-way online, but
All right, that's fine.
maybe not as
Okay.
much as live.
So when we check here, I like a bet here.
Like
He's out of position.
You like a donk?
But didn't he? Oh, did he just call? I thought you raised. I
Yeah.
thought you ISO'd. Oh, you donked.
No,
No, no, no. Then just
just
check. Yeah.
call it out of the
no,
big blind.
I called
Oh, okay, my bad. Just check. Yeah, I like a check then.
yeah, check
We just
for
call it. Queen comes off.
Check.
Check. All
uh,
right.
so yeah, he goes like a decent size, like three
So
quarters pot or something.
what do we think his range is here? When he does this.
I mean, he is saying that I mean, like that he
What do
has
we
queen
think? Like
clubs
ace. Yeah. What do we think? Like
or
ace
like
jack does.
I don't think Ace Jacks bets this.
Yep. I think we just checks. I would say like we're in a spot where he's gonna stab wide on the flop. We're gonna
yeah,
Yeah.
call for
queen,
sure. But now on the turn he continues. So his range is now, we now think.
It's ace queen plus.
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
has, then it has air balls that are continuing.
Yeah, it has air balls.
And
But
I think there's nothing else to do but call
yeah,
and
you do
hope
like to call and just
and hope he doesn't bluff the river.
rivers
This is a sucky river.
and
There
check,
we
check. See
okay,
there?
go.
okay.
See? There you go. Yeah, he's not
See
gonna
if they
triple barrel.
if they don't bluff the river, what you could do is just call with any showdown value. That's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah, just flat twice. They don't
Just
bluff
look
the
at their
river.
small sizing. He probably goes bigger there when he actually has value than he does with his bluff, for whatever reason.
See, you see that they under bluff over
Yeah.
and over again.
You don't like, at least from a theory kind of sense, you don't want to bluff with your missed flush draws, right?
It's not like he has no showdown here. Like at least King 4 should consider bluffing here, right? It's
And
not
Yeah,
like
but
it's
I
a.
back,
mean,
It's not like
I
they.
backdoor,
guess,
not so much.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Yeah,
not.
no, I did just realize that, of course.
Not even an ace high. It's not King 9 suited. It's not like King 9 of clubs or King 10 of clubs.
Yeah, I guess it would be worse if there were two clubs on the flop.
Yeah.
You wanna have some mic input? As in, you mean like some mic hands or?
Oh no, I was just kidding. Heard Mike
Uh,
talk. Good to hear somebody other than me, Sam, talk.
uh,
Yeah, no, I mean, he's gonna be more, he plays online. He'll know better, but
yeah.
you play bigger stakes, right, Mike?
Sorry, I had just stepped away.
Gosh. No, you play what, 100 and 0 online?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're just Sam and I are just we're talking very hungry horse related to him, so it might be nice to have input from an
I,
online player as well.
Yeah, no, I mean
I
your
haven't
input.
watched much Hungry Horse or at all. Kind of like I know of the guy, but I haven't really gone around to watching
Yeah,
his content.
the exploitation they're talking about will apply to some players at online as well. It's just that I think there's fewer of them. And you do
Right,
run into more, I would say, studied type players, than
Theory based, yeah.
live players. So it's just
right.
you can start recognizing who you can apply some of these exploits to, and you should, and
Mm.
I do.
Yeah.
You have to identify them, and you play on a site where it's not anonymous, so you can start to gather hands, I think, and start to get a sense for who is a reg, as we say, a regular, and who is a recreational, and then you can start applying a lot of these exploitations that we're talking about.
So you're saying that I should um like gather all of my hands and look at which players um
No, you should. What we're saying is you should pay attention to like the showdowns, like what kind of lines, like what kind of leaks does these kind of players have, like, and then you should like generally
Definitely.
labor them. Is this like a fish? Is this like a trying wreck? Is this like a
no, but like I mean,
regular?
like Mike was saying that I should be looking at which are regs,
Yeah, you should identify the fish, I would say.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Who the
you can't
fishes are.
you can't use a HUD on GG Poker, right?
yeah,
I
you
know
said
that.
GG, right? So yeah, I don't know if you can use
Like,
a HUD or not, but you should start
No,
to
you cannot
recognize.
on GG. You can't use a HUD, but
Yeah,
they
but you
have
but
should
you can
start to be
pay
able
like
to
a monthly
recognize who the regs
subscription
are if you're
for their
playing stuff.
built-in HUD.
Yeah.
wait, really? Really? I haven't heard of that. Like you can see the
Live and
stats.
die by the HUD. I make a lot of decisions based on my HUD statistics.
But
And it also helps you
okay.
identify those players that are going to be more efficient.
I
Got
but
super high VPIP.
I've never heard of this subscription for like a GG HUD.
No, it's built in. GG has a
Yeah,
built-in HUD. I don't think
Yeah.
he meant subscription. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
built in, but I think there's like a monthly, like, isn't there like monthly tiers of membership for on GG?
No.
That's for the
mm,
club GG, not the GG that
Oh,
Ryan is
Yeah.
playing on.
oh, okay.
Is this what,
Um,
10 NL or 25 NL?
this is 25.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I do know like you have like the VPIP, the raise percentage, the free bet, attempt to steal, and then I think that those are the stats that are given.
yeah,
It's kind
their
of hard.
built-in HUD isn't nearly as detailed as like an actual HUD,
Yeah,
but
You can still
they don't.
identify weak players.
Yeah, still like you can look at their VPIP and PFR and those two stats combined almost
yeah,
immediately. Once you have more than 100 or so hands on a player, you can tell if a player's a fish or not.
I mean,
yeah,
I would say that if I'm playing live or online, within about 5 minutes, I can tell you who at least one fish at the table. Like the guy that is open limping under the gun, he's a fish. Like all of
Oh,
these
for
guys
sure.
are going, like they're going to do something at some point within 5 minutes that you're likely going to say, all right, this is going to be my main target. And then throughout the rest of the time, you're going to be like, okay, now I found three more targets. Maybe they're fishy, but they play a little bit better. They're still fishy though. Like, I mean,
right,
as
yeah,
soon as you see people like limping a lot, I would honestly like start honing in on them direct, like right away. Those are the people I want to play against. That's an
right.
easy
So
sign right there. And then once you see a couple of showdowns where a guy has zero showdown value and didn't turn his hand into a bluff when he had a great spot too, like absolutely start targeting this guy. And like, no, all right, I'm going to overfold to river aggression against this guy because he under bluffs on the river. So, and then I can, like, you see a guy that bets a certain way when he flopped. And it's like you can start to figure out like where the way they're playing and how you're going to exploit them. They're just, I mean, if you get a ton from focusing on showdowns and
yeah,
just paying attention to what's going on at the table. Like if the guy's limping a ton, focus on him.
right, yeah. I mean, what I think I've been doing a little bit too much is like off when a hand like the when I'm not in a hand that's on the table is looking at my previous hands and stuff and
Yeah,
um
if you can pay
and
attention to the game that's going on, you can get a ton of great information. Like
yeah,
last night, I folded pocket queens to a guy's bet all in because I watched him get three bet pocket kings and he just called and he four bet me all in. What is he doing in this situation? He's like it's basically I'm gonna fold my queens here, and he flipped over. It's like, oh, good fold, and I was like, yeah, shocking, dude. Just been paying attention to what's going on.
yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. So multi-way pot. Um, so yeah, lead, small, small, both the blinds call. Um, check, checks through, and then this guy, yeah. So he's it kind of seemed like he was trying to bet just to steal like the pot, right?
How big was that bet?
Go
Uh,
back to the flop for me real quick.
it was
How
it's
about half
about
pot?
it's basically hot pot, yeah.
What was the flop action? Did
Check
It
through.
just it
check?
checked through, check,
Okay,
check,
so
check,
now we
yeah,
get a seven on the turn. He leads. He's
yeah,
gonna check. He's gonna check you often, but he's still kind of uncapped. We just call
right.
and
And
eight on the river.
he fires again, and I think I ended up yeah just thinking like maybe like this should be a hero call, but
Yeah, the problem is that you're still losing to some of his bluffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it wasn't
What is
really
it? Did you see bet the flop? You checked the flop? Went check check.
no the flop went just checked through.
Okay.
It,
Now on the turn.
and then on the turn he opened yeah into two people, which I guess he could still have that he could definitely still have something because he was like on the flop he would have to bet into two other players.
I would look at it like on the river. What sizing did he use again? He went like
Like a
seven big blind.
B33. No, it was small.
Yeah, I would say that
Even
a
half
lot of the
pot.
times, yeah, I'm gonna say a lot of the time here. I don't know. It's a weird, it's a line that I generally am not gonna be in, but I would consider turning this into a bluff raise here. I would say we don't have shit to do when he goes back. We either fold or raise, two options.
Yeah.
So
I think this was just like maybe like just not wanting to give up the pot, and
Yeah, I
then
don't think you
maybe
just I don't think you win enough. Like, I mean, yes, you could call here and he could show up with King Jack, King 10 and some other trash
yeah,
stuff that they can have. However, they can also be bluffing with better hands. They could be
yeah,
bluffing ace 9 and ace
yeah.
6 and you're
And
screwed
I have
either
the worst ace as well.
yeah,
Worst ace combo.
this was a
way.
multi with the small line and big blind. What it was?
Sorry?
Yeah, they were
Was it
small.
multi-way with small blind and big
Yeah,
blind? Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't want to call. I mean, I would sometimes, if I was heads up, I would probably find a more of a bluff right here on the river, but multi-way when he leads into two people and then continues to bet on the river, I'm not gonna to try and bluff him as still call the turn with a gutter. No, I wouldn't want to call the turn actually, because if I don't
yeah,
bluffing him off of his value on the river, then I don't want just for four outs. So, I don't know.
yeah. No,
Spot.
that's it. I think that's what I thought, but afterwards as well.
Think you
Um,
have to be planning on turning like stealing this pot in some way if you're gonna call the you
yeah. Uh, which this guy kind of was doing, right? With this ace five, he thought nobody has a queen, and I have some value, so some showdown, but not. He
I
could
mean
have
this
been
is
easy.
terrible. He should just be checking.
Yeah, but he was trying to steal the pot basically because it just checked through on the
And he's
flop.
bluffing you with a better hand.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right. Open with queens. Oh yeah, I think this is I was way bit too no, no, this is a different one, but so yeah, I get three bet, call, monotone board, and I check. More like monotone and also very wet board, right? What you call it?
Yeah. I mean wet and dynamic.
This guy raises,
And
call.
call. Well, he
Um, he
continues.
continues to barrel with half pot, um, and I call. Um,
Oh, thank you
I
for the
bet,
check, sir. Thank you for the check.
Yeah.
and then he checked. So do you ever wanna like bet for value in this spot?
No, I don't think
No,
you
it's.
want to.
I mean, I guess I would be donking, right? Because
I
yeah,
mean,
no,
what is he
like
saying with
Yeah,
his two streets? He's
I would be
I
saying
think
donking, so I'm just yeah, yeah,
I think it's pretty close though, to be honest, with the oh yeah, it would be a donk. You're right. So no, I don't think I would donk because they haven't checked. Assume you were in position and kind of went this way and they could show up. They could still have aces and kings and hands that beat you because of this board is pretty scary for a lot of that stuff. I wouldn't value bet if you had a chance to.
even yeah, even in position, I think they're gonna find a lot.
yeah. I mean, they should a lot, but yeah, I guess this one wasn't too interesting. Um, the kings,
Was that a
When
donk?
he donked into you. Yep, he
yeah,
donked.
he don't. So, and I decided to raise him. He called,
He calls. So
and oh
actually, I have a
yeah,
question for you, Mike, about this. So whenever we know Nuffle, the donk is overbluffed for small size. The time we end up doing a lot of just calling, even with our very strong hands, is that the case that they run for Nuffle?
Well, you kind of broke up there, so I didn't hear what you said. But when they donk, it's typically not a strong range. It's usually
Yes.
a kind of a middling slash weak range.
It's like weak top pairs, flush and draws usually. Weak top pairs, weak second pairs, and draws.
Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
thick value, what is their response is to just call,
Yeah, for
or
the
is it?
knuckle strategy, which I think Ryan, you said you started to look into it a little bit, but yeah,
I
you
mean, I only looked into like the Mike site, right? And if I want access to Nuffle, I have to pay like $100.
right. Yeah, and
Wouldn't we
it's
think
it's
a
based
good?
on their weak range and like their strategy basically when they donk into you, you're calling with 100% of your range, whether you have the nutted range or a weak air, you're calling no matter what, and then you're taking action on the turn in the river. So you're
Yeah.
certainly
So
you're certainly
is
fine to raise donks. That's just not the Nuffle strategy.
so is he think is their thought process on why you don't raise flops that you get more information on the turn, true like how truly strong that donking range is?
Yeah, that's
And
probably what it's based off of. Yeah.
okay, because I was
But
like in a spot last night where some lady donked into me. I think I had like top pair, like ace queen with a pair.
but
He donked into me for a super small size. Sitting here like I would really prefer to raise against her draws here to get her to put more money in with her flush, but I'm not going to get more money out of her marginal hands that got there. Like a lot of money out of those marginal hands. I think that would be the better adjustment is to play a raise instead of waiting for the turn because I raise on the turn because now they get less. They don't
Yeah, but
waste
you
that
don't even
draw.
raise on the turn often when you have value, unless it's really strong value.
Oh, I just was like, I
yeah.
can't allow this girl to pay $5 to get to. She went $5 and then $5. Not this is ridiculous. I here I'm not
Yeah.
getting the minimum from it.
So actually, on this hand, we were both a bit a bit deeper than 100 big blinds. Like we were both like I was like 125 big blinds, and the opponent was around like 150. And I ended up like screwing up. Like I kind of was thinking of going like a geometric sizing, but I kind of brain farted and used my own like big like the wrong. Yeah, I ended up betting like kind of way too big.
Yeah.
I should have bet more like 30 between like 30 and 35 because this guy did have like 120. Um,
Mhm.
so it was 70. Yeah, so like so that's the and then he ended up folding. But you did say that when they don't bet, they usually like they don't bet on the flop, they usually tend to be bluffing.
Not necessarily bluffing, but sometimes it's bluffing and sometimes it's just some marginal type hand, some very marginal
Okay.
type hand. It's almost never a value, like a strong value hand. It's almost never top pair, top kicker, and better. It's almost
It's,
always worse than
okay.
that. Now,
Okay.
again, and it only applies to players that we would consider to be on the fishier side.
Right.
There's good players out there that will donk and they'll have a strong
Yeah.
range when they do.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I do know that there's definitely boards where you should be donking, even though like the uh, GTO, for example, uh, doesn't have any in doesn't include that in any of the strategy,
Hmm.
but they do exist. You want to still see some more hands? Or
Let's do one more and we'll call it.
all right. Yeah, ace three. Oh yeah, this was weird. This guy ended up doing this a few times, like raising, but like with a very small raise.
Yeah, I think once you see
So
this a couple times, you can drop this into a full bet bluff range. He's doing it a lot. I mean, this ace three, ace four, ace five suited are good four bet bluffs here.
All right. I mean,
Plus,
I
you're
think
playing out of position post.
this might be like one of the first times that that this guy raised like such a small size.
Yeah, calling
So,
is fine.
so I ended up calling. Yeah. Let's see. And then he keeps on firing.
So he made a small bet, right? He bet
Yep.
He
three
bet
into like,
one third. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Okay, so I think calling is fine here. Let's see what he does on river. I mean, the advantage of the situation is that you've got positional advantage. So you're
Right.
going to understand a lot about where his range is from his bets.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe you should just call here because like you only have like a backdoor straight and no flush
Yeah, this is a good call.
options.
I'm not folding yet.
All right.
Okay, so you current equity. What does he do now? He
And now
polarized.
he
So this is a
half
very
pot.
fishy sizing. He's now doing a B50 after going. He did B13 B50, right?
B 33%. Yeah, he went like one third on the flop.
Okay.
Um, and then I do fold, but
Folding's fine.
yeah, all right.
Yeah. Folding's fine, and I think it'd be player dependent. I think you could even call here in some versus some players.
All right. But yeah, in the end, I did actually manage to make a nice profit. I ended up like winning almost like $60 or something on the
Yep.
session.
Good.
So
What were you
Nice.
playing?
25 and L.
Nice.
Hey, Rain.
There you
So
go.
that discussion we were having earlier in the chat about the ace five, ace four, ace three from LoJack and the document that you saw from Chasing Poker Greatness that players are losing negative 0.26 big blinds and I assume that's like just sort of mass data, like it contains the whole population. Was he suggesting that you don't open those hands from the LoJack?
Yeah, I think there's also like a video like about it. That yeah, there's a
Ooh,
video. Let me uh, copy it.
Chasing Poker
Uh,
Greatness.
which is um, it goes to a YouTube link, in which
Oh,
he
really?
actually like he actually like goes into like how he trains like his wolves not to use those sizes and to expand the sizes in this like in the late like the later um yeah to add some hands to the button and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we get that. And then so he's saying don't raise those hands that we're talking about, the suited wheel aces from the low jack, and to expand more on the button. And not talking about raise sizes. You're talking about ranges, right?
Yeah, these are just like ranges. That's at least that's what I got when I like signed up for the mail to get like the neutralized river leads document.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Interesting. I'll have to look at that because that would surprise me that he's suggesting not to raise those hands.
but
Well,
like
do you think it's because
in the video, he's very adamant about how like even good players shouldn't be raising those. Um,
well that's I think that's specifically the people that should play those hands. Like I think that if you're gonna play, like I remember watching a Charlie Correll thing where he's basically talking about you should just if you're not that good, just don't three bet, your sevens, eights, nines. Because you should play them for their set nine value if you're not going to be able to turn those hands into a bluff at some point in the hand. Because they're
yeah.
great, but you have to also be able to turn like steal pots with you're not good. So he's like, I don't know. I feel like that's more of a you're not going to be turning that hand into a bluff when you need to, then maybe don't play it. Maybe it just
Yeah.
gets you in
And
trouble when you're flopping top pair weakest kicker.
I'm also thinking the data says that players as a whole are losing negative 0.26 big blinds playing those hands.
Well, most players.
And we know that players as a whole, that the population is generally largely made up of losing players. But
Right.
to be a
Yeah.
winning player is actually
Mm.
rare.
Right, because yeah, I mean it's a zero-sum game, and then you have the casino taking a part out of it. So
Yeah. And so
uh,
I wonder if that data is, highly prioritizing those losing players. And whereas players like us who study, now granted, they may be a little bit more on the break even side or whatever, I think they're more profitable for us than they are for the vast majority of the players out there.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's basically that if you're not finding the correct, like, if you're not as good and you're playing ace three because someone told you ace three suited's good, now you're playing it and then you're flopping top pair and losing your whole damn stack, then yeah, it's not ideal. You probably shouldn't be playing. I mean, like Scotty talks about all the time, like, we didn't three bet this hand to lose all of our money, or we didn't play this hand to lose all of our money with top pair. We played this hand to for its other properties and the fact that we're able to turn it into a bluff. That's the board.
So I'll show this real quick and then we'll call it. So win rates. We're talking about win rates. So this is a post by Tombos in Reddit. I will put it in the chat. But this is break even, right? And these are win rates by different large across a large sample size. These are win rates by different buy-ins. The lower the buy-in, the less people who are going to meet and actually fall into the winning area. And that's because I think of rake. So you're paying more
yeah,
rake at the lower buy-ins, so less people are going to win. So
yeah,
you really want to get out of the lower buy-ins as soon as you can. You don't
mm,
Me
really
too.
yeah,
you get to see something significant when you get to NL fit 500. Then you're paying less
right,
buy-in. But really, this just goes to what we're talking about. The majority of players are losing, and it's probably 10 to 20% of players that are winning. So it's very hard to be a winning player in cash.
I'd like to know how to filter my database to specific hands and be like, hey, how is this hand performing? Like specifically like what Rain was talking about. If I were to filter, how's my ace five through ace deuce performing when I raise from the low jack?
I
I
have
wish
that
it was,
report. I mean, that report is available in Hold'em Manager. And if it's available in Hold'em Manager, I'm sure it's available in Poker.
I think there's also a valid argument in what that guy's saying, though, even for people that are better and are going to do a lot. Like if you're playing against a large group of people, where like if you're opening ace three suited from under the gun or from the low jack, and then but you're not getting into the spots where you're folding out ace nine offsuit, then it may not be super profitable to be opening those hands.
Yeah, I think that's part of what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, so like it could affect your pool. Like I don't find a lot. I never find a three bet. Almost very little three bet bluffs. No, actually, I find a ton of them because I'm playing against a player, and I know I can beat that player. So now I do find a lot of three bet bluffs, but I don't find like four bet bluffs with any of those hands like that.
No, I don't think 4-bet bluffs are going to be profitable in live games.
No, yeah, I find a three bet bluff. Like I mean, I don't know. You've seen me three bet bluff with hands like six five suited and stuff like. Because I'm like, oh, I'm expecting because the chart told me to, and I'm expecting to smash a flop and win my big hand. It's because I plan out the person getting it heads up. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends. I would say just be as linear as possible until think you're going to be able to start blasting people off of hands. Good at
You gotta
finding
you
out.
gotta go up to the stakes where they respect your raises.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I will
right,
watch that
yeah,
video because I wonder if his if I could see that definitely not being profitable when you get so many multi-way pots live, whereas online when you raise from the low jack you get fewer multi-way pots and you're heads up a lot more often.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
gotta happen.
Well, that's
Like,
why I had so many more three bets though, because that's what gets it heads up. When you just open or if you just call, yeah, you're gonna go majorly multi-way. You're just playing for the value of your hand. Versus when you three bet your ace five, you generally get it heads up, and now you get to try and outplay somebody. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Yeah, sure.
I mean that's why I find more three bets that are kind of loose. It also really depends. Like I don't want to three bet the guy with the short stack. I'm gonna have no playability with a weak hand. Like I'm not gonna three bet ace five suited against the guy that opened that has $100 in it. Because now I really don't get basically just jam or fold flop. He doesn't jam me whenever I three bet him. I mean
But
it's
it's funny
kind
when
of
you look at the expected value of ace five, it's better. It's almost as good as ace nine, and just barely less than ace 10 when you play it against balanced ranges.
balance ranges is a key word there,
Yeah,
key phrase.
but then it becomes even more profitable when you're playing against fishy players.
So what if you no locked it and put it that their continuing range is far stronger than what it is, far wider than what it should be, and you're now playing eight. Like if they're going to continue, like a lot of the time, if you three bet ace five suited against an ace 10 open, they're calling with ace 10. How profitable does it become then? You know what I'm saying? It's like if you have to, if you like node locked it, you're going to find a very different. So I mean, I have a range thing in front of me. I can't do EV, but I can do equity and shit. Do ace five suited, and let's say that their continuing range doesn't include aces or kings, but it includes queens, jacks, tens, nines, eights, really seven. I mean, they're continuing with almost all pockets. Ace queen offsuit, ace queen, king queen offsuit, ace king, ace queen offsuit, ace jack, king queen offsuit, queen jack offsuit, all the suited. Get maybe three bet. Let's say they three bet ace king suited, then you don't three bet the other ones. I mean, you're just in a shit spot, and that's their continuing range. I mean, actually, I mean, you're not as bad as you would think. You have 42% ace five suited against that range. That includes five, not including ace king, and suited. Here, this is the range. You guys see?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Do we think this isn't? Well, we think they're going to call with ace 10, probably not king 10. And this is the equity, how the equities run these.
Yeah, I mean you're doing okay.
Yeah,
I
you're
just
not doing that bad, as bad as I think you'd be.
but
Here we go.
it's well that's because it's the magic solver hand. Compare it to ace seven. Compare ace five to ace seven, which can't make a so we're at 42% now. What?
We're still at 42% with
Oh well, never mind, it's not magic.
it.
Um
See how the ace two does it. I was just thinking about this while we were talking, is that I would think that ace three and ace four would be better than ace five because they have less combo. Like when you can make your straight seems almost more nutted with these ones than it does with ace five because they still have a continuing range in solver of 6-5 suited versus they're never going to continue with 6-4 suited. So when you get the flop of ace or deuce, deuce three, five, you're basically always having the nuts because they're never continuing with six suited, you know?
yeah, maybe it's because ace five suited can make a nutted straight.
But it's not nutted. Or you mean like the top? No, it's not though, because 6-5 is the nuts then.
Yeah. So
That was my whole thing is that I would think that these two hands would make more nutted straights than ace five does because of
that's
the
a good
way it
point.
separates in that they're not like when you make a straight with ace three, they need 6-3 to have the better
Well, if you make
straight.
a straight ace three, that means there's a four and a five on the board.
They need 6-3 to have the nut straight.
Yeah.
That's why I would say like ace three you would think would be a bet and then we could say that we discount against a solver balanced player like set on the button, they're not gonna have any of these hands. I mean like in a three bet pot. specifically, if you three bet with ace five against an under the gun open, which they would have 6-5, but they would never have 6-4 when they open under the gun. Then when you make the straight with your ace five, you're still dead to ace six.
I see your point.
Versus if you three bet with ace four and you make your straight, they never have nut straight you because they don't four.
By the way, like the document, like the PDF file, that like the suited aces, those low suited aces are one of the things, but it's also like it's saying that like the suited connectors are performing even worse. They're like minus 0.57 big blinds on average.
I mean, I think those are valid
According to that
arguments.
file.
I mean, not saying you're bad or whatever, but I'm saying like the average player, a lot of the people suck
Yeah.
because they play too many hands. Like they would all, there's a lot of people that would probably that aren't even good. But if you just said, all right, these are the only hands you play and gave them a super range, they would be fine because they're just not pissing money away.
Yeah.
So like, I think you make a lot of valid points. Like if you're not that great at poker, like I told my younger sister who knows nothing that the people I play against, she could destroy if I sat here and said, these are the hands you're going to play. And I'm going to tell you to do this when you make a hand and this when you don't make a hand. Guarantee you'll make money over time just because they're that bad. And if you just play strong, you will win.
Yeah. And I guess like even more in real life because it's harder to track like being balanced.
Yeah. But I feel confident that someone that knows nothing could beat 1-2 with basically just a range chart and just saying, okay, now when you make a good hand, like you make top pair here, you bet. And then you bet again when you still have the top, and you bet again when you still have top. I feel confident they would be okay. They wouldn't be like a super big winner. They're not going to get max win rate, but I think they're going to be profitable compared to most of the players that are king five off.
Not online though.
Yeah, I mean, low stakes online, I think you could do something similar. I mean, there are people that have done that before where they just play super nitty and they play when they're playing like 10 and L because they just have better. Everybody else, they're going to win more often.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, I think I need to tighten up my anything. Like,
I think you're gonna
You're
benefit
cutting
from a
out.
linear three bet range.
do you say?
I think you're gonna benefit from a linear three bet range against population that's just gonna call too much.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
We can see ace
Just
five suited has a very small but significant EV advantage here. What if you raise in the UTG and then you look at three bet range of hijack, Mike?
So what are you saying? You're saying raise here and then check
And then
out.
let's look at the three bet range of hijack and then look at even and then click on like ace five. So raise is worth very little,
1%.
but it's there. Now compare that to like ace four and ace six.
Ace four, it's the same.
Okay.
Ace six is
What is it?
negative.
That's negative.
Oh,
Ace
Okay.
five is how is ace five even on a call? What ace five again? Even on a call, ace four is profitable to call.
Not enough to actually make it a call though.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then ace six is what in minus EV, right?
And did you guys know that if you get the new Ultra subscription for GTO, isn't it? You can
oh
do
yeah.
pre-flop solves for
The
it's only
multi-way.
$3,000 a year.
$3,000.
$3,000 a year, you can do pre-flop multi-way solves.
And they have like an early bird sale as
That's
well.
insanity. That's insanity.
Yeah,
Oh
for
my
like too
gosh.
much from you.
But all right, well,
All right,
maybe we'll have
guys.
to review. Did we want to go over MDA on Friday?
Yeah, we can do that on Friday. We'll go over some DA stuff.
I was gonna say I watched a little bit about it, but I need to watch some more.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, yeah, we'll start with what their range looks like when they dunk from the blinds and what the different sizing means. because the
Mike,
sample
you
size is huge.
yeah, and Mike, you wanted to look at what their limp like. We'll get an actual idea of what we think a limping range is from their mass data analysis, right?
Yeah, I was hoping that would be something that could be sort of revealed. Yeah.
That'd be
It's
awesome.
they don't have preflop in that tool, but I'll ask on their Discord.
Gatekeeping it.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well,
Okay, guys,
yeah.
we'll talk to you on Friday.
All right.
You
Thanks.
guys.